Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by Faction Motorsports. We are an automotive performance shop located in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Our shop is easy to get to from Route 17, 3, and 21. We are also only 15 minutes away from New York City. Faction Motorsports provides services that include, but are not limited to, performance part installations, suspension overhauls, general maintenance, engine installations, tire mounting and balancing, and custom four-wheel alignments with our in-house Hunter alignment machine. We also stock a range of performance products in-house. From AN fittings and gaskets to complete body kits, we try to stock as many parts as we can to provide quick shipping times for our website customers and same-day pickup for locals. Make sure to shoot us an email if you are looking to set up an appointment or if you are looking for a part that is not up on our website. Our email is sales@factionmotorsports.com. We are also on Instagram at Faction Motorsports.
We need a 1J.
What? You never hear like whistles back in the day, like in the 1J swaps, like Justin Francisco's car, the 1J swap.
Wait, move the mic.
The whistle, like the common whistle in 1J swaps.
Where it's like,
yeah, like that common noise. You never remember.
I just
hearing
run
that
no
in E-Town?
blow-off valve. That's it.
It has that like noise in it.
About the? Is my mic on?
Frankie's mic
It
is
has
not
like
on.
that tone. You're like, oh, that's a 1J car.
Dude,
I feel like I
don't
haven't heard
gotta
that
need the
recently.
whistle to know I got a 1J car in there. But welcome everybody to a Faction After Hours podcast. We're here to bring you another episode.
Is my mic on? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, turn my mic.
Turn my mic up.
We have gymnast Frankie Bovino. And then we're here to bring you another guest. First and foremost, we have Zach, Esteve.
Yeah, you got it right.
Our favorite fabricator, one of our favorite fabricators. Welcome, Emmett.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I've known you for a little while from Instagram, and mainly because you built Josh's tire rack, and I loved the tire rack because it just looked cool. So you weld and stuff. That's really what you do.
Yeah, basic fabricating, predominantly TIG welding. That's all I MIG weld some stuff, but like bread and butter is TIG welding. Like super neat, OCD, getting after the detail type stuff. That's what I like doing.
That definitely shows because you drove here in your Beetle.
Yeah.
The Beetle looks sick.
Beetle is sick.
If you follow us on Instagram, you would see the Beetle. Did you post it on?
I posted on mine. I don't know if Eddie.
Okay,
did.
well, if you follow Frankie on Instagram, you'll see the Beetle. But that
Is
Beetle is tight.
Yeah.
That thing is a fly.
Thank you for letting us drive it.
Yeah,
Dude, of
dude,
course.
yo, I drove it too. That's
He was like, I did the same thing you did when he gave. I was like,
didn't want to drive.
I was like, I don't need to drive it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Kind of want to drive this
Yeah,
thing.
but
How
it's-
often do you get to drive a fucking air-cooled car?
Dude, that's
Exactly.
the oldest car I ever drove in my life.
Really?
Probably.
Drive it.
Yeah.
And it's the thing. It's like it makes 36 horsepower new. What it makes now, who knows? But like,
dude, but it fucking moves.
because it's geared correctly. Because it's like the German engineering. But like, most people, like, I'm around it all the time, and it's in front of my house 24/7. I drive it to work all the time. All my direct homies know me for those cars, and it's like I'm so like numb to the fact, like, when you guys go to events, that like kid who's into the car scene sees like one of your cars, and you're like, ah, and that's what
it's
you
all
see
about,
it.
though.
Yeah,
You know
like,
what I
dude,
mean?
drive it. Like, what are you gonna do? It makes 30 horsepower. What are you gonna do? You ain't breaking it.
You're driving it with 30 horsepower regularly, and like I did give it some beans like in
so did
second,
I.
and it felt like it would be normal to use.
Up until you.
He says running on a highway.
Just
so-
around town.
Bro,
I don't
yeah,
know about
like,
the
it's
highway.
straight up
bro.
like a pizza getter, ice cream getter, and
Yeah.
then like I was telling him, anything you take it to, it's an adventure. Like, you take it to Englishtown, like in my Tacoma, it's a 40-minute drive. If you're taking the Beetle, bro, it's straight up like
I mean, it was an adventure.
it's like an hour and a half, like dead ass.
It was an adventure to go around the block.
Yeah, because
dude, yeah.
It's slammed.
50,
That's
it's 50,
why.
it's dumped on its nuts. It's like
Yeah.
this high off the ground.
It fucking
Yeah.
But how bad does it take a bump? Like when you hit a
It
bump, what
actually-
happens? Does it like like you're
Well,
in the air?
It's designed pretty well, where like the floor is kind of flat, and then where the passengers, like in the back, their feet go, there's like a sweep in the floor. So like if it's to hit behind you, the motor's safe because it's way tucked up. What hits is like the main part of the frame. So when it hits, bro,
Yeah.
You feel it,
yeah,
bro.
like it'll pop out of gear. Like me and my girl drove it. I bought the car at Maple Grove Raceway like 2 years ago, and a year in, I just did all the suspension work. Everything's fresh and powder coated and pretty. I'm like, this thing looks fucking sweet. Let's drive it back. So I drove it like 3 hours one way. Normal 2 hour, 15-minute drive. But I was like, we're taking it there. And we left like 4 in the morning to go. And we were driving to PA, and PA highways were terrible. Like, they're
Yeah.
concrete, and then like between the bridge trestles is like just a hunk of steel.
Yeah.
We hit something so hard, my girl jumped out of the passenger seat, and the thing popped out of gear. So instantly, like, you don't like, oh, it popped out. It just like free revved, and I was like, oh my god, I blew it up.
that was probably the most serious series of like
Yeah.
noises.
Oh, dude, because
I think I like tapped it a little on that.
yeah,
ride.
because it's not
I,
like a tinny like
touched it. And I was
it's
like,
like
"Got
a
it?"
and it's like you feel the car like slow down.
Dude, I grinded the gear right up because I thought it looked like it was in first
Well,
of all
when
the
you shift,
gearbox.
you gotta like.
I got to do shifter bushings.
The
It's not that
gearbox
bad.
is like
it's that car.
it's
yeah.
I feel like it's very like reminiscent of an old car. Like you're gonna hear these things like
yeah,
and
there's
like you gotta
noises.
know about some of these
Yeah.
things. Like
When was the first year that they built the Beetle, Malcolm? Or you probably know.
the real Beetle, like the war production stuff.
the stuff that
30
Hitler
something?
made.
Hitler
Yeah.
made is like 47, and it's called a KDF.
Oh, really? It's that late?
What the fuck?
Probably
Yeah.
earlier than that.
Well, like there's like prototypes and shit, but like something you'd look at and be like, oh, it's a Beetle. Is like
okay.
47, and I believe it's a KDF is what they call it. Like Jesse James has one and shit like that. But like at that point, like that's like 10 grand. You're looking at a KDF.
It's a KDF.
Okay, so that's the 38. Yes.
Yeah. So, but like it's a war vehicle.
Okay.
But like
Go to the photos of that one.
that's like a 401k emptying type purchase. Like what is that? That's what I'm saying. Like what the
That's
fuck
a
is that?
KDF?
I can curse, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can curse.
That's, see, like, there's no back
Fuck!
window
No,
because
I'm
it's a
just kidding.
military vehicle. And then what I was telling you, the earlier one, see how it has a smaller window?
I don't even know if that's a
like
military
57.
vehicle. I feel like that's just how
just
shitty
useless.
cars were.
Yeah, but like
No,
it was
no,
like
bro.
given to my knowledge, like the ranking officers and like the Nazis and shit.
to get around. They weren't like
Yeah.
for you to bring artillery.
Yeah, like
to,
I don't even think
Yeah.
they weren't publicly sold. Is
But
what I
then,
mean.
okay, so what is a thing? Like
What
you
is
know what
that
I'm
one right
talking?
there?
Is that a war vehicle?
The black
then?
one.
This one?
Yeah.
So that is early, like 52. See, so it goes to my back window to an oval, and then it goes to this. If you actually see a real one of these on the highway, it's like gold.
So a split window.
A split window is it?
Just like how a vet kind of like that's
like that.
Don't you
is
want a split window vet?
first gen cream of the crop Beetle right there? Because like the taillights are so low, it's not DOT approved. So like over the years, people raise up the taillights. So like now when you even find them, they're like molested so much that taillights are raised, so everyone's like backdating them to how they previously were. But like I went to an air cooled show that was just air cooled cars Beetles on Sunday, and there was like 2 of those there, and like everyone there was like, oh my god, this is.
I think I like yours more.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
no,
but it's like one of those things. It's like
we're not
that's
in
it.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're,
yeah,
we're not
yeah.
in
But, like,
that scene though. That's
the
why.
thing you'd get though, like my car is like the most you'll get, and like it's usable.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
probably my favorite part about it is
Yeah,
that
like,
you
when
do
it's-
drive it.
It's like dumped on its nuts and it's low, but like 36 is still usable. Like dude, that thing, like, you could highway it, but that's like maybe 40. And I'm telling you,
Come
it's
on, they built
40,
the Autobahn for
like
that.
bouncing on the limiter. Like you need to like do 40 and then
did.
like slow down for a little, let the motor relax, and then like pick it back up. That's how 60 is in my Beetle.
To me, when I see that, I just think of Nazis, so I don't really
Oh, it
like
is 100%. Well,
Yours
like, if
is like more normal.
they actually sell hubcaps that like the imprinted is the Volkswagen logo. Look up the early Volkswagen logo.
Oh, yeah, Malcolm,
it's
look this
some
shit
sus.
I
shit.
need to see this. Hold on.
It
hold
is
on.
it is a
Because I'm
going
going
to
to describe. Whoa!
Yeah, like straight up, like some people don't see it, and then there's that. Like that's what I mean. Like
so when it spins, it looks like a swastika, right?
yeah, but even so, like yo, delete these 2 fingers and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, it's sus.
Well, they said-
I love how we're like 30 seconds in and we're already talking
Talking
about
about
like
Nazis.
Nazis.
Nah,
somehow.
it's fine. You have a Volkswagen. We can talk about
No, I
that.
know,
go
but
down
I'm
there,
saying it's
Malcolm.
funny. But yeah, like
Oh,
you
never
can see
mind.
the production years or what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But yeah, like how crazy is
37.
that? So I have hubcaps of those at home
Why?
that could go on that car, and I'm just like, yo, these be cool to rock. But like any like normal dude be like, what the fuck are those?
I heard that.
I don't
like,
want my
when
car
they-
getting vandalized.
When
you know?
the wheels would be spinning, it would look
Yeah,
like
it
a
would look-
swastika.
Yeah,
I thought that was a
I'm not
roof.
trying to. I'm not trying to get my car like assaulted in the
said,
ShopRite parking lot.
No, you're fine. I
Yeah.
mean, hey, it's a different time.
It was
Yeah.
hey,
but
that's
even
not
like
our
the
car.
39,
It's not
like
our
the
car.
cog is like kind of sus too.
Yeah.
Like let's go with that.
We
was a different time.
It's
Different
not.
time.
I don't own one. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I don't own one.
I would love to own that car for like the aesthetics, definitely not the
Dude, nah,
history
man.
of the vehicle.
You
know?
got that car that you got right now is just like I love looking at that car. I saw it for the first time when I met up with Josh because he was dropping off the trailer.
Yeah, that's when we met.
and that like when you see it like on the versus the photos, it like you know how like you see a car in a picture and it doesn't really like look
Dude,
like
you
that in person.
show me that in a photo. I don't even care.
No, but like
But he
it
drove
doesn't-
it here, and I was like, "Oh, this thing's
No,
cool.
no. But the thing is like in person, you see it. I'm trying to think of a car, a GS in a picture
I'm
looks
not looking
really
at a
big.
GS no matter what. But
It
yeah,
looks really big in a photo because it's just like huge. But then you see it in person and you're like, oh, this looks like the same size as like a fucking normal car.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying was I don't know shit about those cars, so when I see it online, I'm like, whatever.
What?
But then I see it in person and I learn all this shit. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's
Now I want to buy a Volkswagen Beetle.
Dude, no, I
cool.
I
can help
wanted
you
to build
facilitate
something.
that for sure.
Would love to build something old one day. Just because how much of that is like you in there, right? Like you went out of your way to go do some shit because it probably wasn't like was
Yeah,
it
the
whole
front-
when
the
you
whole
bought it?
front
So
bumper.
that's the 8th one I've owned. And the first, I've owned a lot of them. So, like, long story short, I wasn't even in the market. I was out of air cooled. I'm restoring a Carmen Ghia right now. That's like my forever
Yo,
project.
I love
But-
Carmen Ghia, bro.
Like, I went to the show.
I don't know what that means.
That's
It's
the
a
car that was
cool- you
behind
should look
Chop
those
Shop.
up. That's
The one I
that's
was looking
my
at
wave
at
right
Chops.
there. That's like my die-hard, like, future wannabe car. Like,
We were
my
in-
own one, but like
We
when
were
it's
at
done.
Final Bout in Shawano doing a podcast with Chop. If you just go check it out, I
he
think it just
followed me
released.
today. The guy at the GS. The
Yes.
last one? Yeah, he followed me.
Yeah,
Well, I followed him and he followed
He
back.
said
I
he was like, "Do you know this person?" I'm like, "Yo,
Yeah.
he's like one of my favorite fabricators, dude."
Love
He was
that.
like, "Oh yeah," but behind their shop was a Carmen Ghia, and there's all this cool shit in the shop, and
Well,
I
you're
just
Carmen
walked
Ghia.
straight to the back. I don't know anything about him.
Carmen
He
Ghia?
should
I
hit
just-
me up. It
I
was
just
like
know the front.
luxury Volkswagen back
That
in the day.
that is what was
Like
behind
that
Chop's
bitch
shop.
right there. That's what I have.
That's a Volkswagen?
That's a
Yes.
Volkswagen. That is the premium.
Look at the green one. Look at the green one. Look at the green one.
Oh, that's a terrible color. Though. See, no, that's 70s. Though.
On
It's got the
Fuchs-
ugly bumpers.
On Fuchs
Those are
wheels,
fake
bro.
Fuchsias. They never came all chrome.
Damn it.
But see the bumpers, how they're all like DOT and the
Yeah.
turn markers are big? That's when DOT got involved and they got all icky.
Oh.
That is an early car in which, like, what I have. See the little, like, nipple-shaped turn signals and the
Yeah.
cool bumpers like my Beetle?
That-
That's the ish right there. I own a shell of one of those, and I'm currently body dropping one.
What year
but
do you not want to? Like you said,
anything Volkswagen, like, if you're on a budget, the 72 ones are cool and they'll drive and they'll work. But, like,
what's the good shit? Pre-70?
66 is 66 and prior is like.
Oh,
Because if you
but
even.
that's a 67.
You're such a
right?
fucking which one is the cool one to have? Like
That,
you don't want to
that
just
isn't a
have
67.
one.
That
Like,
might be a 67. They backdated, but that ain't a 67. They
Okay.
stopped with these turn markers in 69, to my knowledge. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
love that
66
car,
is
dude.
the
66 in Beetle is like the bread and butter because it is the first year they got away from the Kingpin, which is like a semi
Yeah.
front knuckle design, and they went to a modern ball joint. So that thing still rides decent. Like the early Beetles, bro, are rough, bone stock. Like you're like, what am I driving?
Can you show the back of this thing? The back of it
taillights.
is probably one of my favorite. There was one by my great uncle's house, and when he would babysit us, like
Can't believe
that's
this.
the only car that I would.
That's my jam.
I would
right
see it.
there.
I can't believe it's a Volt.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
That's
Look
a
at that.
70s. That's terrible. That's what I have. That's a 69. Look at them taillights, brother.
Yeah.
The metal.
That shit is fucking fire.
Hey, you have the same exhaust.
You're gonna have to block that whole fucking thing so
You can actually
well.
see the difference. So like that's 69, that's a 71, and then the bigger one before was like later 70s. They get just terrible looking.
So the engine's in the back.
they're all in the back, yeah.
Okay.
So a Beetle, a Carmen Ghia, and a Volkswagen Thing, the body on bolts from like the biscuit, and it's
The biscuit?
that's what they call the floor, like frame.
The
I don't
biscuit.
know why. Yeah, I don't, it's the terminology.
It
everyone
probably
uses.
looks like
But
maybe
the
it looks like one.
like you could
sounds
with a little
delicious.
bit of work like take a Carmen Ghia just off the frame and then just like drop a Beetle on. Like they're really similar. Like they all unbolt right from the rocker.
Are you
Yeah.
German?
A little bit.
I can tell.
Yeah, they're cool.
That's what is
But like I appreciate everything. I'll be honest.
what is
I don't know. I have this weird thing.
that was so fucking
I was
weird.
shocked.
I
I
have
don't
this
care.
weird thing where I can tell if someone's German.
Yeah,
well,
'cause
like,
you are.
I appreciate
No,
the shit
no,
out of
no,
these
no.
things.
Bovino.
Yeah, I don't know. It's this weird thing. Like when Eric Ryan comes in here, I'm like, oh, like
That's wild,
bro. He look Eric Ryan. If I just. I don't even have to
Eric,
do. I don't have
Eric.
to do much. I just have to put an outfit on him, and he is a Nazi.
No,
literally. He
first
has
of
the
all-
look.
That's crazy.
He has the look.
I am not going to let you
Blonde hair,
badmouth
blue
Eric.
eyes,
Eric
just
is one of the nicest
Yeah.
people I've
Solid
ever met.
jawline.
Yeah. And as I'm
I have
talking
no
to
idea
you,
who
I'm
this
like-
is. I'm sorry.
As I'm talking to you, I'm like, oh, there's the eyes. I'm like, oh shit.
What you know? What's crazy is you actually just described Eric like pretty.
Oh, he doesn't know Eric?
No,
don't
he
know
just
who Eric
described
is.
him
Bro,
right
you-
now.
That's why.
He
First
described
of all,
him right now.
You and Eric would be great friends, not because you're both Nazis,
The
but
knowledge
who-
between you two would be crazy.
Is Eric the yellow S13?
No, he doesn't have a.
I'll show you.
I'm thinking of Eric like
No, you're thinking about Eric San Gimino. Yeah,
that Eric.
yeah. No, this Eric.
Eric Saggy Minnows.
This Eric is into choppers and old shit and like, dude, you.
I probably know who he is, but like, yo,
You-
I
yeah,
don't
here
got a lot
from,
of followers, but like,
We're playing
there's
fucking matchmaker right now for friends.
so
That's
many
crazy.
people. Yeah,
He moved here from not Detroit, but Wisconsin area.
Yeah, Wisconsin
Chicago
area.
area.
like recently. Who was the dude that was just here? I met him at a show recently. That was the electrician.
Oh, Mike. He's talking about Mike.
Yeah.
Young Mike.
Young Mike?
Young Mike, Dave's brother.
Mustache.
Mustache.
When the hell did you meet? When did you
He
meet?
was here because he was
Doing
something.
Oh,
something.
oh, Chopper Mike.
Yeah, that chopper.
Or
Mike, yeah.
no, what? Dude,
I got his shirt.
there's just photos of Mike when we were at Final Bout that he was wearing just like outfits that are very Mike. That
Mike and Eric are like.
I just went to a car show
They're old
recently,
souls.
like my dad, like an old school thing, and I had one of your shirts on, and I was he's like, yo, you're boys with them? I'm like, I know Frankie like through the years and stuff, and he was like, his boy owned this like, it was like an '88 like 2500 GMC something, just bagged on into nuts. Like the ones you see on the internet, you're like,
Ooh.
that right there.
Yeah.
And it's like this dark brown. It's on Marketplace, I think, actually. But I found it and I was like, this dude, it's like you look at it and you're like, I'm thinking about emptying the 401k for this. It's fucking mint.
I don't know why Eric doesn't have a picture of himself on Instagram.
Why are you
My
gonna show him a
Instagram is
picture of
straight up just
Eric
like
right
Eric is a beautiful man.
Aluminum
I was trying to find a photo of him. Oh, you got
can
one
we-
of them? Yeah. I just want to see if you recognize him, but you guys would be great friends.
Now the Beetle is not your only car because you have another car that I also like. Oddly enough, my dad also owned one of these as well. I don't know if I said that, but my dad had a bunch of Beetles, so like I like the Beetle. But he owned Rabbit as well.
That man looked familiar.
No, I was thinking someone completely different.
see.
That
He does.
Yeah.
was that about to
I
activate.
don't
He
mean
was about
anything-
his
he
sleeper
gives
cell was
off
about to
that
get
look.
activated.
He gives that sleeper cell look. I don't mean anything bad. I'm not trying to roast you, but like I can see what Frank was saying for sure.
No fucking way. Hey, we love you, Eric.
I'm
God
saying
damn
you
it.
clean him up. You clean. He's always. Now you don't have to clean him up. Literally, how he looks is like he looks like he's from the 50s. First of all.
He'd be in some Saving Private
You
Ryan.
are-
Yes,
shit.
exactly.
And be like that dude's playing a role.
Yes.
like
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, Hacksaw Ridge type
Yeah.
shit. You're like, this dude's a time traveler.
Dude,
Like
one of the
when
most
when-
calming parts of the trip was when I got to hang out with Eric.
When
man.
Malcolm walks
hanging
in
out with
here-
Eric is awesome.
When Malcolm walks in here with his shirt tucked in, he goes, "I'm trying to get those Eric Ryan vibes going right now." He's always shirt tucked in. I don't know, dude. Eric's cool, man.
I can't pass a shirt tucked in vibe. I just look like a square.
Yeah,
I
I
know,
look like
right?
a
I'm built
fucking
too
nerd.
much like Gumby to be like that, bro. Straight up.
There was, Malcolm was wearing this weird shit at Final, but he had a crop top on. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
he like cut
he
it.
does that shit.
That midriff.
Yeah. Imagine if all of us were wearing that. None of us would look cool.
Anyone have a
But
belly,
Malcolm did.
belly tat?
Yeah, maybe if he had
You got a belly tab, bro? You pull that off.
Should get one
Malcolm, yo,
Dude,
Malcolm
you got
can,
like
Malcolm
a
can.
panther or something?
He does have a panther.
on my leg.
There we go.
I got a tiger on my name, but that's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you have a rabbit, or is it a GTI? Yours is a.
It's a rabbit.
Miyagi
I'm
could
just
pull that
kidding.
off.
Miyagi can pull that off.
Yeah.
It's pre-GTI, so it's a Volkswagen Rabbit. yeah.
Rabbit. My
Yeah.
dad had that one with the red stripe around it. Is that significant at all? There's like a red.
GTIs have the stripe around it,
Okay,
but it's also
maybe.
one of those things that like in Europe they're a GTI to the fucking 78. So like people geek out and do the conversions and shit, but like there's also like 1,000 grills people sell, and you could put that little red insignia around the grill for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What year Volkswagen does your interest completely drop off?
Out of respect for Adam, one of the cars I sponsor and help drag racing, Mark 1 GTIs. That
What if he didn't
And all-
exist?
in respect to my clientele is Mark 1 GTIs.
How many NDAs have you signed?
None. It's just like he's one of like my best friends, and there's a difference in Mark 1s that the corner markers it gets like all DOT'd and like weird, so the turn signals are different. And I'm not into it, but like people are into it, and it's a GTI, so it has some.
What year
like,
is that?
82, 81 and a half, 82, 83. Just
Okay.
a Mark 1 GTI will come up.
Is that a big deal? Because we're bringing up DOT a lot here, and like,
Well, that's like right
well,
when it
in that
started
era
happening.
is when shit gets weird because like bumpers got bigger.
but you can't like just like buy like buy a chooky fucking bumper, like a backdated bumper, like how a 180 comes, right? You want it to look like a Type
Yeah, but-
X, so then you switch all the shit up.
It's
But
80s
is
are
it like
so
more?
late.
it's different in the terms of like you have a flip up front end and you want to go like a silver front end. You have to physically cut the front of the car off and backdate it almost. It's not like just put a grill
Yeah,
in
that-
it.
I figured, like, it's
you're
more
chopping the
metal
car.
work.
Like the not majority. There's like in my like Volkswagen community, I'm not really into the big show cars or whatever, but a lot of the big like show cars are actually the late model cars because you could find an early one, but like why would you jump into the shell for like thousands more because it is VIN'd an early one when you could just buy the later model one and just like buy the patch
That's-
panel of a 75 and put it in, and the same thing with the front end and be like, it's a 75. No one would know other than you, the one who welded it together, because you're going to tell everyone it's a 75.
That's-
so you're saving $1.
That's interesting,
But,
just
like-
because there's so many. Like I'm intaking this information and I'm comparing it to like our world where it's like,
It's way
okay,
different.
so that's
Well,
that's like if somebody
I don't
took
think so.
that's it's not that. Here we go. Here we go. Bayside Blue R34 GTR, Frankie, one of your favorite cars. I know this. It is. We did a dating show and I got that answer right. He was like, "What's Frankie's favorite color?" Bayside Blue. But
I thought it was going to be silver.
no, you would think
It actually
Yeah.
is.
He
pretty
actually-
sick.
So the Ed conversation, I thought it was going to be some weird silver gray. I'm not going to lie.
That's just like my safe side where I'm like, I'm not gonna hate it if it,
called that shit.
It's
his
okay.
safe
I'm into
side.
weird colors. Like I
Yeah.
got a beige car. That weird blue is cool.
Dude, I love 'em.
But I don't know. Like if you give me like your car and you're like, I want a silver front end, and you just let me do my thing, I would put a good buck on like. Other than if there's a way to chase the VIN tag around and be like, it's a non-Sylvia front end, like there's a way to date that, you wouldn't be able to know.
I have a Sylvia Rad Sport on my car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But is there like a part number that is Sylvia versus the standard?
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, is anyone at that point with these
The
chassis
only-
where
the
they're
only-
like,
no, they're
it's a
not.
4 versus
They're
a
not.
5?
They're
yeah.
not.
So
Because
you could do it.
First of all, I don't even know if it's stamped on there. And second of all, it's like the only things that are different is on a 180, it's like the holes are there to mount the headlight bucket.
Yeah, but can't you just like
You can drill them.
you can drill them
That's
or
what
just
we
take
did
them
on
my
like
car.
a
Tiny
and you
little,
could just
yeah.
hide it. Yeah, like that's what these cars are like. Like no one know. Like you would someone who probably did. It's getting bodywork, bondoed, painted,
But-
skim coated, the whole nine. So you ain't gonna know it is. But like,
But you would.
see, I'm anal about it. so I'm like,
see,
I want the early
knew it.
one.
I
That's
knew
how
it.
I am.
I knew it.
But you also have a original paint job on the car. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
why I bought that car
yeah.
because like I was saying, that car was inherently cheap before like
How long you had that thing?
that. Is
Can we
2
bring up a
years.
photo of his car?
Yeah,
just
bring
so
it.
people.
But also, while you're bringing up the photo, R34 GTR Bayside Blue, right? You're going to
That's a
you
good
need
one
a
right
drift
there.
car. You need a drift car.
That's it.
But then you turn that into a drift car rather than getting an R34 GTT or some bullshit like that, one of the other ones, and turning that into a drift car.
Bad
That's
example
where
because one is $200,000, but yeah. I
that's a
get
good
what you're saying.
example. That's good. That's exactly what we're talking
But
about.
I'm not going
That's
to turn that into a fucking drift car, obviously.
liked by me right away.
It's a good car.
I fucking love
It's got that, good
thing,
stance.
dude.
Got that huge tire in the back, so you
Yeah.
get that mile per hour out of it.
Dude,
Get that 4 mile per hour
yo,
gain.
when we
math.
took it on the little round the block, you said that, and I was like, wow. You really have to think like kind of a little. He was like, I got a bigger tire back here and gained some speed.
Oh yeah, dude. It's because like my girl's gym is in Rockaway, and when I first got it, I was like, I'm this thing everywhere, and I did it, and I put 6,000 miles on that car in 2 years, pretty much exactly. I put like 2,000 on it before it was dumped on its nuts, and now I kept driving it obviously, but like at some point I got really tired of driving all the way up 80, and if you know 80, when you hit Denville, there's a hill. Yeah. That hill, so like that hill, and if you know it's Route 23 by the Walmart,
Yeah.
if you're not approaching that hill like foot to the floor, you're going to slow down by the time you get to it. Like the car's fighting you, you're like, I'm slowing down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like you're losing compression in like a motor, and you're like, oh my God. And then like you hit the flat, and you're like, oh, it's going again. That's how slow. That's
How slow does it go down to?
Yeah,
when you're, when
you'll
you're-
lose
Thank you, thank
maybe
you, thank
like the Denville Hill. You'll probably lose 5 mile an hour.
Yeah, but you're already like
Yeah, but like
not at 85.
yeah, but if you're driving it and you're like, I'm just putting at 55, and you're like trying, like it won't speed up even if you're flat to the floor. It's just like we're going up it.
Now, how about
Relax.
this? How about this? You have more than you. Let's say you have your girl in the car.
Oh, you're meant.
Now it doesn't change.
And then you got a dog in the back.
I had
you got
3
some
people in
stuff
this
in the
thing.
back.
Dude,
Three people?
I had 3 people stance just like this, and I went to Colt Classic, and it was me, one of my best friends, Carlos Perdomo, and my lady. Brother, this thing is slow, and I was like, this is mint. And then we got on the highway. I was like,
This is a
this
problem.
ain't it. Instantly, I was like, this might have been a mistake.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I got a cool
dude.
trophy from it though. That was pretty sweet.
Dude, that is.
Yeah, it's cool. It's not for everyone because like I can't even express. You have to just be in it and feel how fucking slow the
I
thing
loved
is.
it.
But
I
like
loved it,
aesthetically, bro, like come on, look at that thing.
Look at that thing, dude.
It
Yo,
fucks.
that's your car for real.
And he had Eddie do the pinstripe.
Yeah, so the back
glass.
window is like old school hand pinstriping, and it says ES Fabrications.
I
All
didn't even-
my cars have
It
that.
looks so good.
It's such a flex because most people are
Yo.
like, "Oh, nice sticker." I'm like, "Touch it."
Yeah.
And they're like,
That
and if
ain't-
you look at it, the inside is inlaid, and it's don't yell at me, Ed. It's like gold leaf.
Yeah,
or
it's
like
leaf. It's spun leaf.
it's
yeah.
spun leaf. You know, you paint shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I be-
but
I
it's
be-
from
I
the
be-
inside out, and you're like, "She."
Yo,
Yeah, it's
wait,
cool.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, the gas tank's in the front.
No, not that. I knew that. I knew that. But I'm saying like he laid it on the inside of the glass. Bro,
Yeah, so
I can't keep looking at this. I'm gonna fucking my Facebook Marketplace is about to get fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't be
Come
looking
on,
at this.
look at the
Stop.
little fog lights.
Ooh,
are,
the truck,
stop,
dude. I forgot
stop.
about
That's
the
my
truck.
dad's truck. Yeah, that's been in the family like 30 years. He built that. The garage I do all my welding work out of. He built and painted that thing in the garage. Shout out, Dad.
Have I been
He's
to
the
your
reason I'm
house
in this.
before? Shout
I don't believe so. Maybe. I mean, you're welcome to come because it's
Wait, we met through James Morales, right?
we met through James Morales. Like
I was just about to ask.
before you
John.
expanded at all. I
18,
came
yeah.
here and he approached me and he was like, I want to put a recorder in my car.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
straight up, because I am boys with James, I'm like, no. Because I think that was that was like, no, but like it was right before the crazy like bubble of these cars. And I was like, bro, spend the $3,500, go get another one.
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah,
going to pay
yeah.
me $4,000 to put a quarter on this car. And
Yeah.
someone, you're going to be like, yo, the quarter's cut off this car at some point.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
'cause, like,
watched him take a
was
fucking
before
battering
they
ram.
spiked
yeah,
up.
I'm all for like taking big jobs on and doing all the sheet metal work and stuff, but like I still have a normal gig and I have a good job, so like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What do you do?
I work for the power company. I work for the local power company. We got
Are
crazy
you-
HR
are you
departments.
a
so I'm not
line-
trying to-
Okay.
What is
yeah.
it?
I'm not a lineman. I work in
Oh.
the substations on the high voltage transformers
That
and
sounds
breakers.
sick.
We got a crazy HR department, so I try not to post about it because like people
Nah,
be
don't,
getting
don't,
fired
nah,
for
that's
shit.
all you got to say. That's all you got to say.
It's annoying as fuck.
That's
Yeah.
good. You're good.
It's
You're
whack.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out all my work homies who are listening. A bunch of my coworkers were like, "You're on a podcast." I was like, "Yeah."
They're probably listening like right now.
They're like,
Yeah,
damn, I
probably.
thought this was going to be professional.
Not at all. We're scumbags. But yeah.
Dude, no,
you did
no.
some work the other day that was fucking crazy. Malcolm, if you go on his Instagram, you'll
Not
probably
a
find
desk.
it,
Can you
but-
please explain this fucking desk to
Okay,
me? Can you pull up that desk, bro?
It's not on my Instagram.
Fuck.
I have
Bro,
photos
you're-
on my phone. But
Zach's been building this desk, and like it's
Is that the one
one
we were just
piece.
talking
yeah, the one we were talking about with the
Yeah.
fuck it.
It's-
Someone put a bunch of soda cans on it because we had the open house for stuff, and all the kids were there, and it got a couple stains in it, so I had like an aneurysm.
Oh, that's the desk.
So the desk was built while my girl was opening her new gym. We couldn't post about it because like it wasn't official. It was official, but
Yeah.
she was in an old gym, leases and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I was building it, and I like took like a month and a half to build this thing. And I was like, it needs to get done. It needs to get done because I was holding up welding work, and I was spending money on it, and it was a crazy amount of detail what I spent on it. And I love how it came out. It came out sweet, but all the kids, you know, all the kids are not. Oh, I gotta put it on a coaster. Yeah. Gonna put a ring in the desk, and like they didn't. And then I was like, the day was done. I was like, just having like an aneurysm to myself. And you can't be rude because
Do
it's
you,
like
have,
the open
you
house
don't
of
have
the
that
gym.
posted up?
No, I got
Yeah,
mad
yeah.
photos of it on my phone now, but
that thing is cool, man.
But yeah, you
I couldn't post it because of the situation.
and again,
Just my stories and stuff.
your work doesn't, bro. I mentioned a table, and we were just talking about Beatles. So like
Yeah,
your
like-
work really has no bounds. We talked about this. Like fabricating doesn't really
I'm
have
telling you, we need something like that.
like a line. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but like
There's
so
no line or boundary for
if
your
you
work.
go like deep on my Instagram page, I actually started kind of doing furniture. So
Oh,
like,
really?
So like when
I
I
kind of remember that.
it's a long story how I got into the whole fabricating world
Well,
and
we're
having
here.
a business.
We're here
But
for
Yeah, there's mad beer in the
at
fridge.
some point, I left what I was doing. I did it full time as for a company. I was like the main fabricator, and I got like stomach problems and stuff, and I need like good health insurance, and they didn't have it. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna apply to get in the union. So I applied to get into the company. Started at like a low rank position. I took like a 30-an-hour pay cut. That's when I don't know if you remember. I built that crazy mini truck, the hard body,
Yeah.
on the R34 wheels. It was all wide bodied. It was fucking beautiful.
We need to find that photo too.
And I was going to Cody McManus's open house. I was coming back on Route 3, and I spun a bearing in the motor. Lost oil pressure, drove it home relentless anyway. And I literally couldn't afford to fix it. I couldn't afford, it had 295 squared on it. I was like, wow, that's it. So then I think this is how I met Josh. Because I put up, because whatever I bought, because I was making bread and I was like 18, I just bought 2 of. So when I bought an adjustable arm, I bought 2 because I was like, oh, if I'm going to go to the track, people bend them.
That's some fucking.
But like that, I do everything over the top. So that's the way I did it. And then like I blew the truck up. I took a 30-an-hour pay cut, and I was like, I can't feasibly even own this thing because it had a weird motor in it. It had a 351 Windsor out of a retired drag racing car. My dad's an old school hot rod guy. And I was like 18. I didn't understand how like fuel injection worked, nor did I care. I just wanted to weld shit together. So I bought an old brack racing car out of West Milford, took the 351 and the T5 trans, and I smacked it into the hard body. I shoved the motor back inches, S13 front and rear subframes. It was wild. I did all this work to it,
Yeah,
and then
that
I changed
sounds-
careers, and it was like,
Did you find it, Malcolm?
it's way down. Just keep going. This is
You'll
like
find it.
peak Mark 1. There's Steven's car.
This
Chris
is
Stevens.
this is the thing I remember when I met you. You were building that.
That was like me peak into being into drifting. Well,
Yeah.
like not peak. I'm still into it because I have a lot of customers that do it, and I love. Like I know about Final Bout. Like I just helped
Yeah.
Josh get there, and I know all the details of that. But like, yo, it's like I spent so many years trying to grow the business because I told myself whatever money I made. No, that's
That's sick too, though.
that was cool. There's a turbo manifold I made for myself.
Keep going. It's gonna be crazy.
Keep
You'll
going.
see it.
Yeah, you'll see it instantly. See, I started making furniture in the beginning because I needed to make a buck because I
Oh
was
yeah,
broke.
we're gonna need your help.
What is that right there?
Ooh, the
There's
dyno. Softail.
that was
Yeah,
mine.
That was yours. You have
Yeah.
one?
Oh,
Yeah.
go back to that. Go back to that. How
That
are we
shit
gonna
was
just
hot.
pass that right
I
there?
actually just sold that. Like I sold it like 2 years ago.
Softail one?
Nice.
It was a 2018 Street Bob.
Yeah.
Street Bob.
Yeah,
that's
Ed painted
what
that
it-
motherfucker too.
Yeah,
I have a
I
19
can.
lowrider.
I can also
That
tell
thing,
that I painted that thing.
That's a good bike. You know, I bought that thing. I was so
2 in a
salty.
one?
If you're listening, wah. I bought this bike and it was through a friend at the dealer, and I was like, "Yo, like the lowrider S was the thing for years, yeah."
Mine wasn't an S. I spent all that fucking money.
But yeah, it's like I was like, I did my little bit of research because I didn't have any debt and I needed to put money on something to build my credit score. Because I wanted to buy a house, yada, yada,
Smart.
yada. And I was like, yo, is the Lowrider S coming back? And the guy was like, I swear it's not.
No,
bro,
they didn't
this.
know.
I bought this bitch. And
Yeah.
like 3 months later, they're like, the 114 crate motor Lowrider. I was like,
Yeah, same thing happened to me.
I wanted to fucking bang my head against the wall. I was so
Yeah.
aggravated. And then I was like, because no matter what you do to it, cam, all that shit, it ain't going to equal what that bike was.
Actually,
so it has the inverted
It
forks
can.
and all that shit.
This thing was a.
It looks cool, though.
What is it? What engine was it? It was a
That was a
108?
108,
108 or something.
108 or 107.
One of those.
108. Yeah, whatever.
I did the Harley Stage 4 thing or whatever, and that bike, my bike, rips apart a Lowrider S.
Yeah, no, but the Lowrider S has got like the inverted forks and all that shit.
Which I actually don't even like. So
I don't like the look of it, but
Yeah.
like, could I tell you there's a difference when you ride it? I don't know, but like, it's got the option, I guess.
I don't know. That looks
That shit was hot.
from further away. It looked like a little bit more of an older type.
No,
of
it's a brand new
'cause
bike.
and that
it's a soft.
Yeah,
was-
but
yeah.
now I see the headlight and shit. Like I'm like,
It was a
damn.
good bike.
It's the same as mine.
You know what's crazy?
it?
Yeah.
Do you like? Can you comfortably ride yours,
Yes.
bro? I would ride that thing, and I bought like that was like a Saddleman seat. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't cheap. I don't know, it was like $300-400.
Yeah.
I drove that to Poconos one day, dude. My lower back was numb. Dude, my thighs
just
were
had
numb.
this-
I literally couldn't even walk.
the seating position
I
or
was like,
something was
fuck
not
this
right.
bike. Like after a while, I was like, this thing looks sick.
You gotta push your pelvis out a little.
Dude, it was so bad. Like it was terrible.
It was probably the seat.
Because the stock seat, and then I put that Saddleman on. I was like, this is the wave. Because I didn't do the little passenger
Yeah.
bubble.
You just did a regular old school.
Yeah, like an old school single seat.
I'm not
But-
gonna lie, the step up
Dude,
hump back
it was
there would
so
probably
bad. It was the
help.
main reason I got rid of it. It was
funny.
unbearable. Because then you look at it, you're like, oh, the big step up seat was like $600 or something.
Something like that.
And I was like, to maybe not be good again. And I have like back problems from MMA, so like
That's probably the majority of the
probably,
issue.
yeah, that and skating. But like it looked cool, but
It looks like the bars are set up
I'm not-
right.
I'm
it
not
was
even gonna-
Lucky
Lucky
Dave's
Dave's.
tees, and then it had the little LCD display.
Yeah.
Their billet like little mount. It was awesome. I loved it. It's just I built a shed for all my tools, and the business kept growing and
Yeah.
growing, and it was in the way, and I almost dropped a full stick of roll cage tube on it, and I was like,
That was it.
that's it, and I put it up for sale, and dude, the first dude who came, I was like, I want X for it, and he was like, yeah, I have cash. I was like,
Huh.
dude, I was like, huh?
Wow,
And he was
you got a
"Yes."
lucky Facebook transaction. That's
first
nuts.
dude, he was like, all right.
Wait.
And I was like, okay.
Did you sell it for more than you bought it for? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That gives me hope.
dude, like, I was like, I don't even know what
And the Lowrider S was out already.
Yeah. But like the thing is, I'm off with numbers. It's been forever. But that's like olive gold. That was a launch color of the Street Bob because the dyno wasn't made anymore,
Yeah.
and that's a rare color for that bike.
Okay.
That
I
wasn't
remember-
a painted color.
No, so that's the stock color. The only thing we did is Ed shaved off the insignia for like the actual badge on the side that said Harley Davidson, and then the little battery cover box above the exhaust
Yeah.
that was painted, and then the whole front fairing was added, and then
The pinstriping.
the pinstriping and shit. Yeah, that's
Street
all I had.
Bob, that looks nice.
It was a good bike. It rode great. It's just it was uncomfortable for me because, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your bike?
Well,
I
so
think it's
my
throwing
bike-
me off because I don't like
it's
maybe the
same-
colors
it's the
on
same
your bike.
frame.
Yeah, well, but it has a
But
swing
that's
arm like
skinnier.
that.
That rear end is skinnier than mine.
That swing arm still does the whole through the trans shit?
No. This is a soft tail. So this is what replaced the Dyna.
Fuck it, I don't want this one. This is the nice one.
It's a nicer motorcycle, yeah, but they're more expensive.
Yeah.
All right, this is not the one for me.
That
then.
was a good buck.
But-
That's for sure. That was like some people's dailies. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
Yeah.
that looks like something that I could
But like
write.
I had that was before I changed careers, and I like bought that. I'm like, it's like $300, $400 payment. Fuck it. And then I took the crazy pay cut, and I was like, whoa, bro, I need fucking money. Like my parents gave me like a loan and shit to get by. I was broke.
Let's try
I
to
was broke.
find
broke.
this.
Now the business is.
This car, Malcolm.
Yeah,
Dude,
keep
we
going.
went on a
There's
cra-
Kev's front end. I did. That
we
was
went on
cool.
that ride the other night, and that shit was a few hours for me
There's that
worth
boom.
of riding.
That
it?
was
Okay, yeah.
That is not.
the wheels! The wheels are crazy.
That shit was hot. S13 front rear subframes, extended lowers. I did it all.
That
it was on a
color.
Holly EFI.
Bro.
Just watching that, like
That is
not the
what-
not the
nah,
old Snapchat video. Hold
what,
on.
What color do you think that is?
That is.
it looks familiar.
Hold on.
I was going for a Porsche color, and then I got a price for a Porsche color pricing, and I was like,
That's a Ford Pinto color.
no shot at all.
Fuck.
If you can guess it, bro, I'll give you $100.
okay.
I don't know. It's pretty.
Do you think we would know it?
It's shockingly obvious what it is.
I had a feeling, dude. That color
It's
looks
school
familiar.
bus. Yellow.
It is school bus yellow.
Yeah.
That
Yo,
is-
what's up?
I'll give you $100, dude. I'm not kidding you. I went to the paint shop. I was like,
shit. You know what I'm saying?
I want signal fucking yellow. 72 911 signal yellow. The guy goes, "Are you out of your mind?"
Yeah.
Because a gallon was like $700.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "You know what it looks like it?" And he was like, and he slapped on the
That's
table. And he's like,
funny.
"This is $40." I was like, and I was like,
Yo.
Matt Berler, and yeah, it's school bus yellow.
Yeah,
I think
no.
it pulled it off fucking well. I loved it.
I have a customer right now at my house who wants yellow, and I was
love a good
perusing.
yellow car.
I was perusing the yellow color swatches, and I know one of them was a.
I was at
school
work
bus yellow.
yesterday, and we pull in through like this crazy gate, and there's the gas side and the electrical side, and someone had a Dakar yellow 4-door E36 with the little wing extension. I was just driving to work. I was like, who's got some
Boom,
taste?
right
I was like, damn. I was like, who got taste in here? And dude, it was the cleanest E36
Go
I've
to
seen in
the
years.
older
No
photos
bullshit.
when he was building it.
Yeah, dude, you could. It's a full chassis on it. Though.
Holy-
Like,
right
look
there,
at
right
that
there.
stance.
Go up.
That's mini truck shit right there.
There's a frame
Right there.
That's the bed. The bed was cut.
Holy hell!
Wait,
It's got
keep-
trick suspension in
keep
the
going.
back
It was
because of
all
the
S13. Yeah.
Wow, that
Keep
is
going back.
actually.
There's a
fucking
photo
dope.
of it sitting on jack stands in the middle of my. Look at that photo right there. No, up one. That shit right there.
That's how I remember it. I was like,
That
what
that
the
was probably
fuck?
the coolest thing I ever built and ever will build because I was a dumb kid with too big of a bank account. And thanks to my parents for letting me be an idiot and
It's
make
right
something like
next
that.
to the fucking pool, bro.
Yeah, bro. I painted that in a Harvard Freight carport. I bought 2 tarps. I laid it down, built a carport on top of it, then flipped the tarp
Yeah.
up and like bungee cord them up, and I painted that bitch right where it was.
We've all been
Frankie did
Oh,
the
yeah,
exact
baby.
same thing.
Bro, that was the coolest thing I've ever built.
And you sold this thing.
No.
You took it apart.
I sawzawed it in half. So it was this weird thing with me.
What?
No, so yeah, it took me a couple 100 hours to build. I sold off all the parts. Some dude bought the motor out of it. Some dude bought like the 3 spare transes I had and the rear end and this and that.
Wait. Oh, never mind. I remember.
Yes.
The engine was crazy.
It was a 351 Windsor. It's nothing crazy for those V8 people. It's the like OBS Ford truck motor, but it had like aluminum heads on it and like all this shit. So like it was a 5.8 liter V8 on like it was carbureted and then it went a Holley EFI Sniper with all that stuff. But yeah, I sold that off. I sold the suspension components, and then there was like a part of me that was like, some dude hit me up. He's like, I want to put a K series in it. I'm like, that's cooler than what I wanted to do. And I ain't going to give you that because it's probably going to blow up on the internet. And he's going to be like, I built it. And
Yeah.
you didn't fucking build it. So then, yeah, I sawzawed it up and I threw it away. And the only thing I have left of it is the plate.
That's
I
would
didn't
have kept
want
the plate.
I didn't
would've
want to
kept
give
the plate.
anyone the satisfaction to say they did anything with it. So I threw it away.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was very. I still stick by it because like it was it wasn't too reckless to say, but it was so weird. Like if that pulled up to E-Town, it was working, and it actually had S13 suspend. Like it would travel like an S13, and it was all that. It was all properly set up, and it was just wheeling like your car could wheel or any like. You'd be like, what the fuck, and then you would be like, well, what is up with that? And it would gain traction or something.
Now,
and-
why didn't you just
And
keep
you didn't get
that
the credit.
and put it in the shed back there?
Well, because your boy was broke, and
But you cut it in half.
yeah, but I didn't want someone having it. That was the biggest thing, and it was just like,
I'm so mad you didn't just put that something in a corner somewhere.
yeah. But the thing is now, is like, when I did it, the level of fabricator I was, because if you actually go back, I back halved it again, and then I was balls deep. Keep go up.
Up.
So keep going. You might be able to see. So then I made like a cool rear bash bar, and then if you look up the next photo, I changed the rear tube structure, and I had the cage go through the cab and all this shit, and I solid mounted the diff and got rid of the subframe. I did all this shit and then changed careers, and it just.
You weren't happy with it?
I was happy with
That
it.
looks fucking
looks
nuts.
insane.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was a rear mounted rad and everything. It was cool, but like.
That looks actually
I didn't want someone
insane.
having it. Like it was mine. It's mine. Like I did that, and then there's a couple of dudes who drifted hard bodies, and we were like all like cool with each other. Like, see, the diff was solid mounted, the subframe was gone, it was all tube mounted, but it kept S13 geometry. Like I used the stock S13 arm and sat it where it would be proper, and then put the adjustable arms in. So like it would accept S13 arms off the frame itself versus
That
having
looks
a subframe.
fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely one of the craziest things I ever built personally for myself.
Did you get to drive it?
I drove the shit out of it. Yeah, like I did a couple street drifting with it.
Oh.
I did a lot with it. I never drove it in this configuration because that's right when I changed careers. But yeah, like I probably put a couple 100 miles on it. It was great. It's just, dude, it was changed career, and I couldn't afford it. Like when I widened the bed, I bought the wheels from Zach Wells, one of my good friends, and they're there's my
Dope.
pup.
I saw the different pickup
It
points
was,
in the back.
It was like an 18 by 10 and a half negative 18 with a 295 tire. And the tires were shot because I was ignorant and doing donuts and shit. And I was like, yo, I need a pair of tires. And they're like $1,200. And I was like, I can't even afford to do that. I was like, my bank account is negative $40. I have a truck that needs $6,000 worth of motor work. And I also was looking at it like, yo, it's got $15,000 worth of parts in it. And I was like, I need to make my Harley payment. And I was like, I just had to like adult up, and not adult up, but like I needed to pay my bills. So like, yo, I sold all the shit off of it, and then that was it. I was like, I can't really keep going. So
You think you'd make another one eventually?
I would love to make another one, but I would probably start with a different chassis.
What would you go with?
If you asked me like 6 months ago, I probably would say K series, but everyone's having those crazy vibration problems.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do a K. Honestly, if I was to do anything, I would really like to push my Rabbit to being like a serious road time attack car.
What's in the Rabbit motor-wise now?
It's a
still-
2-liter ABA out of a Mark III Golf. It's just a straight up NA.
Just an ABA swap?
It's an ABA. So it's a single
Carl,
cam.
how
8
do you
valve.
know everything about everything? Isn't that
I
annoying,
knew you were
Malcolm?
going to
Why
fucking.
does he know everything about
I knew you were
everything?
going to fucking ask me this. My first car was a B5 Audi A4. You don't think
That's
I looked
terrible.
into fucking
This is a
Volkswagen?
fucking Rabbit.
That
from,
was
like,
the worst
Yeah,
car I've
but-
ever
some
owned.
shit.
But
when I got my A4, I wanted Mark II. I wanted a Mark III. What goes in a
What
Mark
the
II
hell
and
is
a
an
Mark III?
ABA?
It's just the fucking motor that's
It's
in
the
there.
engine code for the 2-liter back then. Yeah.
Why does he know everything?
Well, the thing is with like Mark
This
1s, if you have a 75 all the way down to one of the Mark 1 dudes is going to chew me out for this. 74 is like the Swallowtail, which is the early Mark 1s, all the way up to the Mark 3, the 2-liter ABA. The casting for the block
Was the same?
was the exact same. They just went from a 1.4, they bumped it up to a 1.6, then a 1.8, then a 2-liter.
Oh, but they're just taking material
The
out.
physical
Yeah.
casting of the block and the engine mounts is the same.
Yeah,
so
same
you
with
could take
same with
the
Jay-Z and
ABA
stuff.
and just there's tens of guys to do it. TDC Dave does a really good job. He sells a harness. He simplifies the harness. You put the 2-liter in, and you go from an 80 horsepower car to a 140 horsepower car.
That
whatever
probably
ABA
feels
makes,
like a
and it's
fucking
instant. And
rocket
you're also going
ship.
from a 4-speed to a 5-speed with an overdrive. So it's like the Mark 1 ABA swap. It's like having like the truck KA and going to like a
SR.
boosted SR.
Yeah.
It's like boom, a weekend you're done, and you're like, this thing rips.
Yeah, no, that.
But my
that-
car is hopped up from that point. Yeah, There's
That was
motor
the
work
that
and
was the
stuff.
thing that people would talk about in those like forums for the Mark 1 and 2. They were like,
Yeah.
ABA. Get with it, Frankie.
But the VRs are
16
cool. But
valve.
the VRs are fucking terrible. I will die on that hill.
VR is bad,
VRs are terrible. Well, VRs are inherently a good motor. If you're
but they
trying to-
sound good.
I'm
like
not
the
into
sound.
it. But like, if you're the guy with a Mark IV, a Mark III, a Mark II, and you're like, I'm trying to seriously drag race, there's a lot of really fast VRs. But if you're just like, I own a Mark 1, I'm gonna put a VR in it and drive. The problem is it's not engine mount to hood height you lose. It's engine mount to like floor, and there's no way around it. You'll just lose like 4 inches oil pan clearance. Like your car will be like,
You can't like run like a dry sump or some shit. Like,
bro, these are Volkswagen kids, and they're peasants, and they're poor, and I am one of
well,
them.
when you mentioned
Ain't no
drag
one
racing,
buying
so I
a
was
dry
like,
sump. No,
okay.
I'm talking about like the daily driver.
Oh,
Like if
daily
you VR
driver, yeah.
swap a Mark 1, the motor is inherently way heavier.
Oh, no,
so
I
the
wouldn't.
balance gets all weird.
Yeah, no.
Same thing with Mark. I'm not in the Mark 2s, but the VRs are weird because they're heavier.
I just don't
And
picture.
you lose ground clearance to pan, and they're aluminum pans, most of them. And then you're like, oh, I'm just gonna buy the shortened pan with the plate welded on it, and it's like some dude in his garage makes it, and it's like a $900 modification.
There's
And you're like, why the fuck would I do that?
There's something with the Mark 1 and 2 where where you're at and what you have, the ABA swap in there and everything
That's
like
it.
that. That's it. A VR, I feel like is just too.
It's too
new.
heavy.
They're
The wheel
from
balance
different.
gets off. Yeah,
they're
it's
from
off.
different bins.
That's why, like,
I'm good.
My beige car is like, period correct.
Love
a
it.
lot of the Mark 1 dudes are gonna hate me for that because I just took it off 13s. I was like gonna die on that hill. And I just went racing with it, and it was fucking terrible. So now it's on 15s. Mark James is gonna hate that I said that, but yeah. But like I put 15s on the car. I went from a 185/60 R13 R888R, like a good.
How much is a tire
good
like
Yeah,
that
wait,
cost?
what? How much is that?
It was
tire cost?
expensive.
For
It
13
was like a
inch?
fucking $1,000, almost $1,000 for 4 sets.
For 13s?
Yeah, it was insane. So long story short, I jumped up to a 15 and I jumped up to a 205/50/15.
Oh, so the stock tire
It was
size.
$40. No,
No,
it's
of a
bigger than
240.
that, yeah.
Of a 240.
And it's $40 less a tire, and that's basically the only mod I did going into my next track day. I went 5 seconds faster.
Well, that's a more. I feel like a 13 in this day and
The
age.
deflection of the tire,
Yeah.
dude, is a 60 sidewall. Like, yo, that thing looks sweet on M13s, but the deflection of tire was insane. And like, if I break one of those BBSs, the only dude that would have one is me. And you're like, well, it's in my collection, so you're paying the me price because who the fuck else has it? And I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you were to sell one of the wheels or your cool valve covers hanging on the wall, you're gonna have to pay the price for you to be like, well, this is what it's worth to me.
Yeah.
And
So you got a wheel collection.
I used to. I thinned out a little bit. It's pretty bad. Well, because I have a couple cars. So, like the Beatles one.
How many wheels you got?
I used to have like 6 sets, but then I thinned out. Now I just have the 13s that are on the car. I have another set for the Beetle. I have a set for the Carmen Ghia, and then that's about it. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to collect pretty heavily.
So how many projects you got going on right now? Just
I got 3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Three,
enough.
and then
That's
there's
enough
a
to make
customer
you poor,
car
bro.
that's constantly like revolving in and out. Yeah. Like there's.
Do you like things like that?
What do you
like a customer that like you just get rid of it and then it comes back again. And wants it.
I actually prefer it because like over the years, like there's a couple like you go from like when I first started, you're like, yo, I need this intercooler piping made. And you'd be like, yo, okay, I made this. And then you have like, lack of a better term, like a threshold you like your work to be. And then you're like the throttle body side will be like Helen Keller welded it. Or like you would look at it and be like, why is that a 90 to a 90 when you could just do like a smooth 45 to a 45, you know?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, yo, if we did it's here, like I could do it. And they're like, no, it works. Because a lot of people are in the mentality like, why would I pay you extra couple $100 to just like change that? But like I kind of pushed into the direction of like, just give me the swap when it's done, and I'll like give me these. I'll do the exhaust. I'll do everything out the back. I'll do the intercooler piping, and I'll do it all. And
Well,
it's like
you wanna
an
do it
ES
your
fab
way.
car. Yeah, but like there's a lot of times I've worked on cars, and you're just like,
Why would you
you've
do
probably
it that
seen
way?
on customer cars like a bolt's facing the wrong way. Now you can't take the alternator off, or like something stupid. You're like, oh, you gotta take all this shit off to get that off, and you're like, yo, dude, if you just like riv nutted that versus putting a through bolt,
Yeah.
it would be way nicer. And it's the things you like. I've built a lot of, not that I've built a lot of cars, but I've been doing it for a minute now. So like, you pick up on some things, and you're like, yo, this would just be so much easier if you just like let me do this. And like next time you swap the motor out, if you hurt it or whatever, it'll be like twice as fast.
That's
and,
every shop owner though.
It's
like
dude,
right.
yeah.
That's fucking Frankie.
That is
on a
every-
regular
that is
fucking
basically
basis.
every
It's like
shop owner.
stop bringing me this, or keep bringing me this, and never bring it.
I keep
anywhere
it simple.
else.
I just go, we're gonna do it our way.
That's kind of how I'm at this point now. Like it's just
Yeah.
like, yo, dude, like,
And if you don't want that, then go somewhere.
yeah,
else.
like since I still have a great career, I have, not to brag or anything, I have people like hit me up for work and they're like, yo, you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, well, I'm like, I'm this an hour and it's probably going to be this. And it's just like, it's like, all right, so when you want to drop it off? And they're already inherently fighting for what the price would be. And I'm like, you know what?
yeah.
These guys could help you out. Just go to them.
Yeah.
Because I have a great career. I have like no, like, I'm not set off like I'm not like well off or anything, but like I could live off my job, and it's like the welding business is like a passionate project pretty much at this point, and like I want to work on shit that's cool to me, and
Yeah,
it
so
could be anything
That's
as
even
long
more of a reason to not do
yeah,
things you don't
exactly.
wanna
And
do.
it's like I've worked on a couple things where I was like I would make my piece mint, and then you would like look at the front end and
Oh
the
my
ball joints
God.
falling out of it. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive this to the track on Sunday, and you're like, huh? And then you see him, you're like, yeah. And I was like, you ever do that ball joint? And it's like
Nope.
2 years later,
That's how I
and you're
feel-
like, huh?
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel when Derek comes over my house.
Bro, I know so. It's
crazy. That's crazy.
Are
calling
you
someone out
shitting
like that
me?
is crazy.
Derek.
I know a lot of
Derek
people that are like
Smith.
Damn,
Derek
that's
on the
crazy.
bicycle on Instagram. That's exactly how I feel sometimes.
That's crazy.
But he just does it, bro.
okay.
Our friend B-More, Malcolm knows him. I don't know if you've met him, but he said they should write. Derek said something in the chat, and Brandon said, "Man, they're gonna write a book about you, bro."
That's fucking crazy. That's
mean,
cool,
we-
though. That's the people you remember, though.
Sometimes you got to fire customers.
Dude, I've had a couple people that like
I'm not talking about Derek,
have
by
a
the way.
list.
Derek, I'm not talking about you. That was Carl that was talking shit.
good customer.
Yeah, not me.
I have a list of a couple people I've dealt with over the years.
Yeah.
It won't inherently affect you because you're not like you don't. A lot of Volkswagens or whatever, and like people I know, like if they don't go to me, I know they're going to this guy, and I'll be like, "Yo, this dude just did this."
Just a heads up. Well, this is the number, just so everyone knows, this is the number one reason to not work on someone's car. When they come to you and they go, yeah, I was going to this other shop, but they fucked me over, so, I'm here now.
It's the
that
biggest
means
thing you deal with.
They were the problem.
Yeah, they're the problem.
I mean, not every time, but
Yeah,
sometimes.
But there's also like the thing that it's hard in my world because, or like you guys probably deal with it too, because you're doing like full on builds for most people now, like swaps and stuff.
Yeah, we do swaps, yeah.
But like there's like time management involved on it. Like you're like, oh, you're putting an SR in
yeah.
a car, and then you're posting online like, yo, this took me a weekend, and then the car's here for 2 years, and you're like,
Yeah.
there's shit like that too. You need to be like on your P's and Q's and like progressively make
Yeah.
progress on stuff. But like,
That's why
it's
I won't,
so running a business.
I won't accept a car. Like, there's a couple in the emails right now that are like trying to bring their cars here. One of them is a half done project. It's actually a good example. There's two S13s. One is a half finished, one J swap, more than half finished, which that's a big red flag.
Yeah, it's sus.
And then there's another one which is a not even started 2J swap or 1J swap.
And it's the same guy, or it's two
no,
different
two
guys?
different people. And it's like, okay, well, I'm definitely doing this one.
Yeah,
Because he's like, budget's not really an issue. I have these parts, but I need all the other ones. You can source them. It's like,
That's
okay,
the way
that's a
to do it.
perfect customer.
Yeah.
This one, it's like, I'm going to say yes because Malcolm talked to him on the phone and he said he seems pretty legit. But I probably shouldn't. You know what I mean? Because then I'm going to get that car and then it's going to be like, oh, well, you don't have this. You did this wrong. We have to redo this. We have to
Yeah.
do this. And now it's going to be $5,000. You know what I
No,
mean?
yeah, absolutely.
It's going to snowball so fast.
Well, that's like the shit we talked about right before we started. I go off hourly.
Yeah.
I'm 85 an hour,
Basically,
and
we
it
do the same
is what it
thing.
is. And I just punch in on QuickBooks. But like, it's for me, it's different because there's so much mess involved. Or like, I could bend a bracket, and I'm like, it'd be a little better like this and then that, and I'll stare at it for 10 minutes, and you're going back and forth, walking to the brake and this and back, and you're setting it in the mill, drilling a hole, this and that.
I couldn't
It adds up.
imagine.
Like,
Yeah.
like I did a bus for one of my coworkers. Shout out Grizz. I put like 200 hours into this thing.
Yeah.
And like it was so much of it because he's one of my really good friends. It was like, yo, the shop's doing it. They're taking too long. It's been 7 years. I got the bus within 6 months. It was done.
Yeah.
Because I would leave work 7 to 3:30. I would punch in by 4:15. By the time I'm done walking my dog, I would work until it was 9, until my lady gets home, and it was like 5 days a week, and then I would do 6 hours on either Saturday or Sunday. But like, there's people that be taking on like business, and then they're like, yeah, like I do this, I do that, and they're doing like, as their second gig, they're doing like 4 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to build a name for yourself and like hustle.
Yeah.
It's a little it's odd, but like
It's a lot of work when you have a full-time job.
it's hard, but like I love living in like the chaos of like 1,000 things going on. It's
Yeah.
it's something something's
Your brain has to be
My therapist should find out about it because it's fucking nuts. When you're like, and then you're like, oh, I need to finish Adam's car. I need to go here, and then this is getting off Sunday. That car, and then I love
I mean,
it.
it's good to be busy. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Love
Yeah.
it.
The chaos.
It's
I don't
cool,
know.
but I just love it.
That
Yeah.
sounds
It's
fun.
fucked. It's fun. Yeah, you're gonna hit that point when you're paint
I think
stuff,
he
for
is
sure.
doing that
I
right
have
now.
so much fucking. I'm so sorry, everybody. there's. I respond to my DMs like once, maybe twice, 2-3 times a day or something like that. But like, I have a lot of work, a lot. But like I can't take you all at once. So
Yeah.
pause.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
But like, not that I'm saying that I pick things that are cool, but so far the people who have reached out to me, thank you to all of you.
Got
but
that super life vibe.
the ones that have reached out to me are all like really cool cars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
well, that's what you want to do because
Yeah,
like you
like-
still have a normal job. Like you're like,
dude, I come out of work.
Yeah.
I also try to be transparent. I don't try. I am transparent about it. Like when you drop off a car to me, I tell you I have a full-time job, and there are days where I just don't feel like working on this. And like, but the days that I do work on it, that I can find time to work on it, not can, but when I do have time to work on it, like I'm on it and it comes out. My turnaround time isn't crazy, and like I only have like one bay.
I think it.
same
So-
way here. I do
Moving
one
pretty
car
fast.
at a time, and it's just like that, and it's sheerly
Oh,
focused
no,
on
no.
that, and it's.
I
done.
started
That's
stacking.
kind of good.
I like it like that. I can't even do 2 cars at once, but like I've done once. Like a car was in the garage, I'm waiting on a part. It's like
Yeah.
a week out, and I
See,
do
that's
something
what
fast in the
sucks, though.
driveway. That's what sucks.
Because then
But,
you have
like-
one car, one project, and
But
then,
see, the thing what I did is a couple times when I first started this is a good tip for some people. But like, I would like the material and what I do is expensive. Like I just built a couple intercooler pipe and this and that. I spent $700 on material. I do not order it anymore. I got full hosed on 2 jobs, and I was like, no. So I would be like, hey, if you want me to do it, come to the house. We'll have a conversation how I want to do it,
Yeah.
how I would see fit this would be done, and then bring the car, or like I will go to the car. We'll talk over the project. I will physically write down on my notes on my phone or a notepad, be like, we need 445s, 290s. Because like when you're buying a 4-inch 90 elbow, it's like a $60 piece of tube.
yeah.
So you don't want to buy 2 of them because then you're eating into the profit margin or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm hourly plus material. So the material is just on top of the bill.
Okay.
But like I will be like, I have a software on my computer. I'm like, this is the cart. Order the cart. When it shows up, drop the car off. Because like I've ordered shit and then they're like, I wish I had 3.5 inch. And I was like, you told me 3. And I'm just like, dude, you're buying more material. I'm not just gonna.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? It's like, yeah.
I do half deposit of the cost up front. That usually
That would be another way around that too. Yeah.
That
Take the money
usually-
for
I'm just material. Like straight up
Yeah.
just you're giving me the material cost.
Thankfully,
instantly.
with
Yeah,
paint,
yeah.
it's like, okay, you gave me this. I kind of gauge my deposits off of that, and the cost of the job off of that, and how many hours it takes me to turn a car out. And then at that point, I can like order the fucking paint.
Yeah,
Like I
sometimes-
send you some color swatches. You tell me what you like. I'm gonna tell you, okay, this. They say yeah. I order it. Shows up at my house. The car's already there. Done.
You know what? Another thing is that you could do that we do on bigger projects is I try to invoice every week.
I've done that. Like I've done a few builds that I've had like over like the one was like over 200, one was near damn 200, and then like that. But like I don't really try to be like that. But like a lot of it now, it's because it's such a small shop, and it's like I end up being boys with these guys.
Yeah, like
but it's
that's-
also awkward because you're like, you owe me 200 hours, and you're like,
Yeah, that's a lot.
and you're like, yo, is this like? So on those jobs, I
Yeah.
will be like, yo, you
That's why
should
we
be
do
paying me because to have that sum and just be like, is
Yeah.
crazy because the shell shock of it is gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
Because like, especially for what I do,
That's
if I'm,
why I started
if I'm
doing
putting
it.
like a quarter on a car, you're like, wow, this Volkswagen bus is a little less rusty. I'm like, yeah, but I'm 85 an hour, and we talked about it the way it is.
Yeah.
So like, it adds up very fast. But like, if you go to someone who has an outfit like this big that's not on their own property or doing that, like, it's 120 an hour or 140 an
Or
hour
more,
doing
yeah.
the same. And dude, to put a rear quarter on a car, you could be looking at like 10 grand.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know, it
100%.
matters. But
I mean, he just told me his hourly rate before, and I was like, well, that's very fair. So,
There's
especially for, like you said, you don't have a huge shop or anything.
no, I have no overhead. I have phenomenal parents. We own like a nice 2-family with like a nice garage. We put up a shed where I house most of my tooling, and everything's on wheels, and I just bring it in and out of the shed, and I have like a little wheelchair ramp, and every tool I need I bring in and then out. I have 2 TIG machines, a MIG machine, a mill. The only thing I don't have is a lathe, sheet metal brake, bead roller. I got all the tools.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
But,
I've
like,
seen some of the stuff that you make with that shit too. Like, and that was what Josh made sure. He was like, he just does this stuff out of his garage, and I was like, damn, he does that shit out of his like that.
Well, I
Out
wanted
of
to
his
show
room?
that
Great.
thing before.
What?
Remember that floor pan you made or some shit?
Oh, that's the Gia I'm building. That's the.
It should be recent, somewhat recent.
Yeah, it's somewhat recent. I haven't touched it in about like 6 months, but there's crazy sheet metal work everywhere.
Or maybe you put it on their
That was
story.
a hybrid S13.
You probably put it on
their
their story, right?
No, if you keep going down, because I had a couple of reels that popped off. Like that's a piece of it, and then keep going down.
That shit right
like
there on the
that
left.
that is for. I'm probably saying this wrong. It's Sin Garage or GTR shop out of Sussex. They're building. I don't know if this is like public knowledge. They're building a sweet Mustang. I had the privilege of putting floors in. It was an amazing project. It's actually going to case. There's a case. That's a 69 Mustang. It's the movie Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
with Nicolas Cage?
Yep, Eleanor.
That's an Eleanor.
Look at it. He made the dimples.
It's an
now.
Eleanor, but it has a K series in it, and it's a boosted K series on a Haltech, and the floors
I'm
were
sure
fucked in
that
it.
made a lot
I
of
made
people
the
happy.
entire floor. Well, I didn't make the floor, but I put whole new floors in it, and then
I
the
love this
kick
shit.
panel is like a structural piece. I had to make that completely from scratch.
This
Yeah.
video right here is why you're
That's
doing the
the video.
podcast tonight. Because I saw this shit and I was like, this guy's a fucking genius.
Yeah, like you can see, I got a little tiny shop, but I do it. But the thing is, when I started taking on business, up until I would probably say this is my first serious year. Like it does well. The business does well for sure. I've never at some point been like, I'm just gonna go buy something gangster that doesn't help the business. Any dollar I made, like that bead roller was like $4,500. My bandsaw was like $6,500. Like the to do what the precise
Yeah.
stuff is expensive. So like whenever I made money, I just pocketed it and I put it in a safe and I was like, I'm buying the tool because you could do this stuff with grinders and stuff, but you can't mimic the high grade stuff the stuff you would want to do as a fabricator to bring, you need the tooling, and the tooling is a crazy buy-in. Like you run a shop now, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Like that bandsaw is almost like a month of rent. It's crazy when you have like crazy. So my idea is I'm going to do it all now because I'm going to end up buying a house with property and putting up a pole barn.
Yo.
And that's the wave. But I want to go there and be like, I got it all, or I have damn close to all the tooling because I have the majority of the expensive. Like my TIG welder was like over $7,000. Like who has that to just throw? And you're like, I hope the business comes.
Yeah.
So like you kind of just keep steamrolling it into it, But
I mean,
there's a lot of cool shit I've built over the years for sure. Like that's an FCRX7 for one
Yeah,
of my
like
buddies'
that
endurance
shit's
car.
sick.
I was straight up just a one-off cat delete hump that I spent a good amount of detail on.
How'd you do the dimples? Like with that?
That's with the bead roller, yeah.
Okay.
So it's just one die, and the one has an L in it, and the other one has an L, and it's the machine is so strong that it imprints it. It'll put the shelf in them. And the real concept of it is if you take sheet metal, just plain sheet metal, you had like a 4x4 square or anything larger. You know how you could do like the thunder noise with it? If you put a bead in it and you do it properly, it stops that. So you can theoretically lose
Stiffen
weight in the chassis by taking like a panel that's 1/8 inch and drop it down to like almost 16 gauge, which is a much thinner material, but putting beadwork into it, and it'll be just as rigid as 1/8 inch. That's how them drag cars be getting all the weight out of them for sure.
That's why Nissans are built with Play-Doh or whatever.
Yeah.
Yo, everyone be saying that, and I do a lot of sheet metal work. That whole thing that like, oh, American cars have better steel. No, it's not real. You're a bad fabricator. You're not a bad fabricator. You need to learn what heat settings are. It's
Yeah,
that's the
'cause
difference. You need to
Japanese
learn
thin
what's good.
metal and everything,
Yeah,
they
but even
say.
everyone says
Yeah.
thin. Like I did panels on a 60 on Buckley's panel bus. I welded the whole rear quarter on. That was equally as thin. Because you're like, oh, the metal was thick then. I'm like, bro, this thing's from the 60s. It's had 40 paint jobs. It's not the thickness it was back then.
Yeah.
It's just as tinny.
Do you do those? What do you even call that? Dimple? I don't know what you call
The dimple
that.
dies.
Do you do that by hand, like freehand, or you draw it on? Like
So
how do
you could actually kind of see my Sharpie marks. It's a good rule of thumb. So
Because the other panel was multiple.
well,
Does
that's
it have
because
like a set radius that it would go? Then I would just figure out
the
length.
radius of it is if anyone would like to learn the trick, but the die is like a 3-inch circle. You need to go off a 3-inch circle because when you loop the corner, it'll look fucked. Like it'll look odd because the die is the die size doesn't change. You need to be that radius so it like pulls fluently. But there's like I've made so many of those panels. Like I think I actually made this twice, and you can't book it because the first time I did it and I put the design in the floor the other way, and I was like, it just looked off, and I'm like, so I threw it away, and then I had to make a whole nother one.
Oh my God.
But I didn't charge a dude for that just because
Yeah.
I'm anal and I like a good product. But yeah, like that's a one piece of sheet metal. It's just bent in a box. Yeah, you can see how I did it right here. and then you're stuck. Instead of doing a 40-inch weld, you just have that tiny
I
vertical.
want to get a metal brake like that so bad.
Eastwood, baby. That bitch was $600.
I've been getting a lot of Eastwood stuff. I like their stuff. I
Some
know
of
it's
this stuff's
China,
cool.
but
No, but dude,
yeah.
I built the day I bought this, or like a week after I bought it. My buddy Ryan Bayman, he was building a square body S10. That was a serious bracket car, and he's like, "Yo, I got a tunnel for it because he has like a turbo 400 or whatever in it." And we're like, "You bring it by." I got the brake for it. We bent it day one. I bent that fucking thing. Like I had it like the jaws that like clamp it shut to make it work. We just like we were both like yanking up on it, and I was like, "It could do it," and I like. Yeah, I bent it, but it's fixed now. But like, it took hours of fixing it. But I was like, it could totally do it. But you know,
that's that tool right there.
the nibbler.
That.
Yo,
Yeah.
I got that thing.
The what?
It's called a nibbler. Facebook Marketplace find. Some dude in Verona in some bougie white neighborhood had it. Totally stole it from work. 100%. Because I was like, why do you have? Like, why would you even have? It's literally meant to do the work I do. It's just like any random dude with a house without a garage or even a car guy. Why would you have that?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I just can't, you know, I got it. I was like,
I got it.
And it was like,
Hey, mind your business. You
dude,
got it.
literally,
You
was
got
like, it was a quarter, like that thing's like $600 new. It was like $150. And I was like, dude, I'm not even bet. And
The nibbler, man.
dude, yeah.
I love that thing.
I
Yeah, so
need
you
it.
could
It looks
see,
like it
see how the
cuts the-
dies are shaped, so it puts the fucking handles
of
in the way.
course, the
But
handles, right.
yeah, you could see one, it's just an L, and the other one's the opposing shape L. So when you tighten the jaws down, it
Oh.
imprints the metal. That's all it is.
Damn, that's cool.
I love that.
Damn.
That's my bread and butter right
Painting
there.
got
You
cool.
guys
Yo,
need any
that-
of this shit? Bang my line. I'm trying to buy a house
For
and put up
real,
a shop.
for real. This
That's
guy
my
needs
ish
a
right
pole
there.
barn, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to put up like a big motherfucker.
So how many years you been doing this? Have you counted?
I got my first job in the fab industry sophomore year of high school, and then I've been in it. I'm 27 now. I've been doing it professionally as a shop. Yeah, I started in 2020. I was like, I think it was my dad was like, "Do you realize how much you're bringing in and out?" And like, because I was just like taking a job, and then some dude hit me up like, "Yo, you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then I was like, "Yo, I got some money to
Yeah.
like." I just had because it was like you get lost in the sauce, like the OCD, ADD, like zone out, and it was like 2 years in. Probably, and I was doing like what some people make at their jobs in the garage, and I was like, he's like, you should keep track of what you're doing, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then from that point on, I start like from the fresh year, I tracked every dollar, and I was like,
Oh.
so I keep track, but I officially I started keeping track of 2020, but I'd probably say like 2018, like COVID is when I really like started getting after it, yeah, for sure. And then
cool, man.
there's some cool shit like I'm working on one of my really good friends' cars, Adam. It's a Mark 1 GTI. It's like the first post. We're trying to be one of the first dudes in a Mark 1 chassis in the 9 seconds and a quarter mile. And it has a shitload of cool work into it. It's got a 20 valve, which is a 180 out of like a Mark 4. I don't know. But it's all built in shit.
Aluminum piping, TIG welded, that shit never looks good to me. I don't know why.
It doesn't look good. And you know, and pie cuts don't look good either.
Yeah.
But this is cool because it's such a tight radius. It's not, keep scrolling through the photos. You can see.
Like that looks better. Is that
But
because
see-
it's cast or something?
No,
Like
that's actually a solid piece. They just started making these. It's not even. It's 2 pieces of aluminum. It's called a donut. Go to the last photo in this post. I think
Oh,
I
I
posted
see
it.
what you mean.
It's physically 2 pieces of metal, and then they weld this edge and the inner. And that.
What?
So you cut that into 4, and it's the tightest way you can get a 90. Because you know how, remember like years ago, everyone's like, pie cut this, and it was like a million little welds?
That's a donut.
It's literally a donut. So you
I
bang
want
that
that
thing in
just to
4.
have.
You bang it in 4, and you have that's the tightest radius 90 you can get.
Okay.
And you get away from that crazy pie cut design thing, which if you do them inherently, if you do them well with the great bandsaw, they flow just as well. But it's so busy looking where that it looks great, you know. But
I
yeah,
fuck with that. That's an interesting. As soon as you said bang it out into 4s, I was like,
yeah.
oh,
So
that's
you
how
can
you're
see
gonna
like
get
the
that.
one's a 90, and then the one on the bottom is the 90 banged in half, so it's a 45. So it goes off each other to put a spacing in it. But we're trying to make this thing fast, and the thing makes, I'm not gonna say the number, it makes over 8, so it's fast. Yeah,
Damn.
it
powered by that 1.8.
well,
Jesus
yeah. Last year, stock bottom end just ahead, it was making some sauce, making like 7. Dude, it lost a turbo last year at Maple Grove Raceway, June bug. I drove the Beetle to, and it wiped the motor out. A brand new top shelf turbo, like ones that like my Rabbit cost when I first bought it. That's how much a turbo was, and it was just it failed, and it sent metal sand through the motor and wiped the motor out. Shit like that. Like it hurts your brain to think, but like that's part of racing, you know.
Yeah.
So
just like your experience last weekend or whatever.
Yeah, but I can't even be bummed about that. Like, so the beige car before it was here, it's on Weber's now, and it's like old school race setup. It was turboed forever, and it had a crazy turbo setup in it. And I was trying to be like all cool and use the original like chip tune that everyone does, but I was like porting the manifold. I was doing all this extra shit, and it would never run right. And that is the bottom end from when I was doing all that nonsense, and it overheated twice to 260. All this crazy shit. So the fact that it even lasted one event and 8 laps into the second one, I was amazed.
Yeah.
And it blew at 80 pounds oil pressure, 230-degree oil temp, through a turn. It started knocking. It didn't window the block or anything. It just started knocking, and I was like, well, it blew up in like good condition, so like it had to just be tired.
Yeah.
Like it had VR1 in it.
And that was after you converted it
Whoa. It had VR1 in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Remember that podcast with JP? Where VR1 in the motor, the majority of the motors that he gets run VR1, and that's why he runs Schaefer. No, not Schaefer's. He runs Driven.
Who makes VR1 again?
Valvoline.
Oh, I never
But
used that
Driven.
oil.
Driven oil or whatever is the one
There's
that
so
he
many.
likes.
I feel like that's the same thing. Like the tuners, like what ECU they want to run. There's difference in that, but like
I know,
it's
but
just- it's like preference. I'm
had
not
some
an engine
good
builder. I don't know
backing
what
behind
this
this.
guy like. He knows his shit more than me. I'm a welder.
This is what I got from it, and this is what stuck on me. So like, bear with me here. But just like how Pennzoil. This is why I run Pennzoil on all my vehicles. Pennzoil.
JP only likes to use oil.
Pennzoil.
Here's
only
why.
likes to use oil
Where the fuck
from
do you
a
even buy that?
It's a
Pennzoil.
certain oil field
From
in-
an oil field in Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania.
because they have a lot of zinc content in the area.
Well,
so
that's
the
the
oil
VR1 has
naturally
added
has
zinc.
added zinc.
Added zinc, but zinc is zinc, no?
I don't know.
I
don't
have no idea.
I
I
don't
want to
know.
talk to your boy because I would love to know because that's why. Yo, you be watching
That's
some.
on a podcast with JP.
You be watching some Rob Dom videos and they be doing the stupid like outtakes or like we're going to the VR1 factory and they show the differences and you're like,
Whoa, they're
That's
getting
just
paid
like
too, right?
Yeah, they're getting paid,
That's
but
just like
still,
when I'm
like,
at the
you're like-
counter and I'm playing with the little Lucas oil treatment
Yeah.
gear, and
You're
I'm
like,
like, oh, I
"It's
think
so
I might
smooth."
need this.
That really
Yeah.
gets you.
Yeah, because
it gets you.
they're like normal motor oil on the left, it's not doing anything, and then Lucas, you go like this, and then the
Gotta
oil
get that
travels
Lucas.
all the way up to the top.
I
and
think
you're
we
like,
could just all agree that ain't no one putting Fram in a motor that's
No
going
one
to the
uses
track.
Every time we order oil filters, I'm like, yeah, cheapest one you got, not a Fram.
Yeah.
And I go, okay.
Dude, even like
I've
the
run
motor,
a Fram oil filter before
Tua.
on a Honda Accord.
That's crazy. Oh,
On
that
my
doesn't
Honda
matter.
Accord,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's all they got. That's all they had in
You
the
know what's
fucking
crazy?
store.
I put a Fram on the beige cars, and I just ordered it because I think
And then it blew up.
no, this was like
You don't
last
use
year.
like that German ass brand Male or
No, now I do.
Mail or
but like I
whatever.
bought it for some reason because it's the only thing they had, and I was like, I gotta change it. I put an oil cooler on it.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, all right, let me just do the filter. So I ordered a filter, and most of the filters have that stupid like stamped nut at the end.
Yeah.
The Fram didn't have it, and I just put it on, and like, I don't know. I guess I ate my fucking Wheaties that morning, and I put it on, and dude, when I went to take that fucking thing off, it's the car's got a half rad, the engine bay's tight, it's front wheel drive, dude. I had to fucking stab the thing with a flathead and like, fucking.
Yeah.
And I was like, never again, just because it didn't have the little nut like that you can go from the bottom and just loosen.
I don't know why everyone hates Frams, but I know they do, so I never
It's
got
a
it.
shitty, it's the shitty
I also
coloring and
don't.
the
Yeah.
product design.
I don't even fucking try to undo an oil filter with just my hand anymore.
Oh, I got some grip strength. I'm in the rock climbing.
Like I used to, and that's fine. But I'm in this mode right now where, because in the auto body realm, everything to make your job easier exists. So if you do it that way, then you can do more jobs, and if you
So
can
you
do more
don't fuck your
jobs, then you
hands
can have
up.
more money. Yeah.
No,
Like
that's
you
a
just
big
don't
thing
want to
in
fuck your hands up
automotive, too.
Because like
Oh,
right now
absolutely.
I upgraded DAs to like a different one
Yeah.
because mine was shaking so
do
fucking
you
much.
use compressed ones or battery power?
Yo, is the
electric powered?
compressed air DA vibrate less or more than an
I don't
electric
fuck
one?
with any air tool because one, my compressor setup is kind of weird. It's in my house. It's
Oh.
in the basement underneath the stairs in like a noise proof thing. But like when my compressor runs, it's annoying as fuck to the entire house.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I'm like, eh. And I just like plug it in. Like my
But-
welding
but
bench,
does it-
I have a surge protector at the base, like right here. and I just plug it in, and I'm right here, so the cords don't get all twisted. It's like the best thing I've ever
But
done.
does it vibrate like hell, like a air one? Because I can run my compressor all day long. The problem that I have with my electric one is that the other day or last week I was fucking sanding Chris's stuff, my buddy Andy's stuff, and that was 2 hoods, 2 bumpers, side skirts, the panels for the side skirts, trims, a vent. Like, that's a couple hours of me sanding. My hands, when I take a cigarette break from that, it's like, whoa, like,
I think you
this
just have
feels
like
so
carpal
weird.
tunnel, brother.
Like,
or
no,
something.
like, it's the vibrations. It just shocks. Like, my
Yeah,
hands
you're
are
probably
super,
just like
my hands are still good.
Still
it's just
vibrating.
like they're still shaking, and I'm like, damn, I
You
just
gotta
saw
talk to some
Milwaukee.
body shop guys about that.
Nah, the Facebook groups for the body shops, they fight on there. It's hilarious.
Dude, the Facebook groups and some things like
They're so funny,
bro.
dude.
I can't even like.
They're helpful.
But like sometimes I get thrown in the mix because like I fabricate on some stuff, and they're like, "What's your opinion?" And I'm just like, "Don't do this," and like not even like don't at me and shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to put my subject, my idea into stuff. I don't want to do any of that. Like, but like it's just mindless arguing constantly.
I
over
just
the dumbest
I just
shit.
watch.
I love watching.
Yeah,
dude, like
it's none of my business.
Dude.
I'm not a specialist in that realm yet. Like that's
Oh, dude, I
let me
know.
just watch. Like so then, the number one thing in the body shop groups is when somebody you can clearly see they laid the filler on like bare metal. And then the fucking comments go, why the fuck would you do
People
that?
really
That's
do
gonna
that
come
shit?
up in fucking
dude, hell yeah.
People do that shit that are in groups
what?
for body shop.
What?
Stuff?
They lay the filler on the.
Like they don't know.
Well, I wouldn't
shit
have
is
known if I
This
didn't
guy
know.
was probably like, "I know my shit." And
It's
he's
like,
probably
yeah.
dick swinging, and everyone else is like, "What are you fucking?"
I dried it all off. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I always.
dried it off.
In case if you ever
gotta
bring your shit
seal
to
it.
me, if I see bare metal on there, no filler going on there. That's gonna get sealed up first.
Shameless plug. Dude, you want to talk about the favorite thing I like seeing? One of my buddies, Tyler Pottonzone. I have no idea why. I don't even think he lives in my town, but my town has like the West Patterson Woodland Park Facebook group, and we have a roundabout.
Okay.
And they just added it like 5 years ago, right by Route 3.
Yeah.
By like where the McDonald's is and Five
Yeah.
Brothers Diner. They just added that. So like you'll have this random ass Karen be like, "I don't understand why roundabouts are used. It's stupid. I almost got T-boned." And then my buddy Tyler is just ripping them apart.
Yo.
Because they're like misspelling shit and they're like, what, this and that. And it's just like this 6-year-old mom. And this dude's like, "What are you, an idiot?"
Yeah, we have
and
a
then
friend
they're
like
just
that. His name's Jesse.
arguing. And I'm just sitting there like in my work truck like,
My brother
I love
does
you,
that shit.
dude.
My brother
Tyler,
used to
never
do that.
stop being who you are. I
Yeah.
love that shit so much.
Yeah,
My
friend-
brother used to be like, I have the time, so
Dude,
I'm going to fucking.
Dude, I
ruin
love
this person
people,
on the
and
internet.
I'm just sitting there like,
Yeah, you're
please,
watching,
please.
yeah.
I just like watching his story. You're like, nice. This is
Jesse will
sweet.
just be like,
I love
"Yeah,
it.
I got banned off Instagram again. Why? I got into an argument."
I know so many people that be arguing over the dumbest shit, dude. Like, there's this dude in the Mark 1 community, and there's this another guy who was in the Mark 1 community, but then he got into early Fords. Pre-war, like World War II Fords are worth an insane amount of money now. Long story short, and he made out like how Adam LZ made out in the drifting community. Like he's like the dude with like a bank account. Just a way to reference this
Yeah.
for people who, like in your community.
No, yeah, thank you.
And that guy got fucked over by this one dude. And it'll be like a random ass Tuesday. Ain't no one talking about this dude. And then someone will Photoshop like clown makeup on him because he posted like a selfie on Instagram. But like, look at this
That's
fucking
fucked
clown.
up.
And I'm just like, didn't this beef happen like 8 years ago? But
Yeah.
everyone's so cliquey in the Mark 1 community.
Wait,
I'm
so
just like,
how did someone fuck him over?
long story short, the guy was like importing parts from Germany, to my understanding, and someone didn't get paid, and then a car got painted, and then something like that. I don't know the story. I'm not gonna act like I know it, but like people will just bring this dude up.
Yeah.
And now that like he has a YouTube following, like Volkswagen endorsed the dude, and they gave him
that's
like
high.
a YouTube series. No, the dude that no one likes.
Oh.
so like
That's
on the
crazy.
Volkswagen posts, you'll see like this fucking, and they'll just be like calling him out, and then you're like, how is corporate Volkswagen not seeing this?
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. Like instantly,
That's.
dude. The car community is great.
Well, that's like,
But
like-
also couldn't be
but
bad.
also you're
I'm
like-
so scared because I know there's no way we're everybody's cup of tea. You know what I mean? There's got to be
it's
somebody out
true.
there, and that's fine.
I would
it's just
definitely
like
hate me.
Yeah, I would fucking.
Yeah,
I'm
you
a
do
fucking,
hate me.
Yeah, I
But,
hate
like,
myself.
but that goes back to the Fram filter thing too. It's like they can't unfix that.
Yeah.
What do
they
you mean?
can't fix that.
Oh,
Like,
brand recognition? Yeah, you can.
Like right away, I'm like,
a
Fram,
merger.
don't use it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Merger.
Dude, talk about merger. Did you see how
Yeah, that's the only way.
the
Why,
fucking
what happened?
Hoonigan $1 billion debt thing?
What's going on with that?
Well, apparently,
do you know
Wheels
much about it? I don't know
Pro
any-
or whatever.
Wheel Pro.
Wheel Pro bought them out, and then they changed name to Hoonigan, so all that debt isn't theirs. But $1 billion, a B with a B, billion? That's fucking crazy, dude.
That's what happens when you just keep buying cars and like.
Dude,
But no, it's because Wheel Pro is like who
Hoonigan was
owns
fun.
Rotiform and shit.
No, Wheel Pro owns,
They own like
a lot.
We have a
Huge
account with them.
Motegi is one of them.
but like, dude, $1 billion, bro.
I guess. But they're
Billion.
They were.
Think about what $1 billion is, dude.
I know, but I'm also just thinking about just because I work
Dude, that's
right now in an
that's
industry
like
where
10 of these towns.
in my office job is like people are very dispensable. So like,
Whoa.
No, it's the same in my normal gig,
It's
dude.
the
Like
sa-
people
like,
just get walked off property.
it
You're
sucks
like,
when I think about that. I'm like, damn, Hoonigan went under. But then I think about like all the other car people that are probably working at Hoonigan or were working at Hoonigan and now no longer have jobs.
I don't know. All I know
So then
is
it's
Ken
like,
Block
fuck.
died and then Hoonigan was gone. That's all I know. That's all I see.
That's what I think about. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, I
Because
reached out.
I listened to one podcast with Ken Block. Probably one of top 5 podcasts I ever listened to in my entire life. Everything he was saying, I was like, damn, this guy is fucking smart. And then like how many years has it been since he died?
I don't know.
Like 2?
3, maybe?
And then all of a sudden Hoonigan goes under and everyone quits. And I'm like,
That's the crazy thing, too. But like, I'm not talking down on Ken at all. If you have a business of that size, it will never just be like, "Eh," and flip over like the Titanic.
I know,
It
but-
is a slow roll. So it had to be going down at that
Yeah.
point. There's no way that they're
Yeah.
like, Ken died, and within 2 years, 1.2 billion. It just doesn't, that like,
I don't know.
It's so impossible because, dude, that's like one LS crate motor, maybe is 40 grand. Bro, how many
yeah,
of
shouldn't they
those
have
equal
known that
$1.2
shit
billion?
They must have known shit was going south for a while.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. When I saw the B, I was like,
there was definitely some really cool people over there. The people that I did email exchange with about like possible sponsorships and shit like that, like especially at Motegi. I think his name is Scott.
Wait, so that's
I
like the
forget.
same company now?
It's Wheel Pro.
Yeah.
But like again, all I could think about is the fact that all of those car people who are into cars, maybe they have their project cars, and now they're going to have to make that decision where they're like, "Fuck, I need to find a job right now, or I got to sell my project car."
yeah, because there's not a lot of like,
That kind of sucks.
there's not a lot of crazy like if you're the internet guy, like if you were the face in Hoonigan and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go do my own thing. You're starting a YouTube channel, and then now you're doing everything. If you were just a face, you got to do video, you got to do all
Yeah.
that. That ain't easy, bro.
Only imagine, dude. I
Yeah.
can only imagine. But
I gotta look into that shit. I don't know.
I like did a brief. Tony Angelo did a great breakdown of it.
Oh, he did.
He did a phenomenal breakdown
guy's
of it.
mad cool.
He's
Tony
the fucking
Angelo,
shit.
man.
I've talked to him like twice, and he's the most because he's like he started drifting, but his like hot rod knowledge is wild. Like I
Yeah.
saw him at like random swap meet with my dad. I'm like, aren't you Tony Angelo? He goes like, yeah, dude, and he like fist bumped me and like talked to me in my dad's truck. He's like, all right, dude, be safe, and like fist bumped me, walked away. And my dad's like, who's that? I'm like, one of the guys, like the guy. I was like, it was
I've
the
never,
oddest.
I've never
random-
met him. I just know of his like, I don't know, like what he's done in the drift community. I guess with Forsberg in the earlier stages of Englishtown,
Like
and like
Drift Alliance or
to
whatever?
me,
Yeah.
like
DA.
that's fucking sick. And
I
don't
just
know.
remember he backed into my friend's trailer and then didn't do anything about it.
Fight him up, dude. You want to fight a guy named
always
Tony
bring this
Angelo?
up every
I'm
time.
good.
That is straight up like a WWE wrestler's
That
name. and
name
I'm
is sick. Like
jealous.
I'm bouncing on it, but like fucking
Justin's trailer or his truck or something. He's like, yeah, I don't know. Tony hit it and then that was it. He never did anything. It was so
You could
funny.
at least been like 100.
He didn't even care. He was like, whatever, I guess.
Dude, trailers, bro. I love how car guys are like, cars gotta be mint for the event. Then you look at their trailer and it's like, bro, it's like,
Nah, you're adding
It's
so
crazy.
many
Wait, what about me?
people,
Mine's
right?
good.
I will
Yours
ask
is,
you.
no, not yours.
All right.
I just know Ethan is number one that I'm thinking of right now.
Bro, and they're going cross-country.
My partner for tandem this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Worst fucking trailer in my opinion.
dude, it's crazy.
His
what I say.
car barely fits on there.
Meanwhile,
I'm talking.
So my trailer was like $1,800 brand new or something.
trying to convince. I'm
Like,
trying
you
to
ever put
convince.
tires on that thing?
No, all my friends did because they use it all.
You
the
ever
time.
do like, you ever grease the bearings for the.
I
feel
think
like
we did
he
one
would.
time.
Dude,
He
I
would.
remember when the first time I did work for Josh, I built a tire rack for the front of his trailer. And I was like, yo, you ever grease the wheels? He's like, Like, it was straight up. He's like,
Yeah.
that's how that works? I'm like, I got you.
Yeah.
And then like I just sat there like pumping, and I was like, is it? And I like actually went. I was like, is the grease coming out somewhere? And it was just like
Dry.
just dry. And I was like,
Great. I took that fucking trailer far as
mint.
fuck.
But now,
you're gonna do the
now
maintenance
it's
on it,
mint.
right?
What the
Now it's
hell?
got. I just did some sweet taillight mounts and shit for it. So
Yo,
sweet, and I
you
lowered
stood on that
fenders.
shit in your story too.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
it
that
was
shit
mint.
was legit.
It looks fucking tits now, but
Josh's is the
Yo,
tilt
I
one.
had a guy. No idea who you are, buddy, nor if you're listening to this. But I was in Alabama for Mid Pond, and out of all things, for somebody to stop me and ask, they're like, "Oh, we were just looking at the tire rack." I swear to God, If, Ricardo, Kenny, Ethan, who are all there. I don't know if any of you
Love
remember
to hear
that,
it.
but middle of Mid Pond, Alabama. That's
you
what
know
they-
what's wild? He dropped that off. I might be fucking up to. It was like a 2.5 day turnaround. He dropped it off, and I was like, because it was like, hey, I'm dropping off a customer project Sunday. Josh is like, I could be there Friday night, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
and I was like, you know, at the Zach Galifianakis scene, when he's in the, and he was like running numbers. I'm like, I could do it.
Yeah.
And I did like 2 16-hour days, and I was like, it's done. And he was like, what? I'm like, it's done. And I worked till like 4 a.m. one day, and he's like, yeah, it's well that it's done. And Josh was like, so can I come get it? I was like, mm-hmm. And it was like, dude, I don't even think it was at my house 48 hours, and I built that entire rack.
That shit
It's
is
actually on my Instagram. If you
I
wanna see
love
it.
that
It's
thing,
got the
dude.
sweet laser cut logo.
Yo,
Them shits be fire.
That's what. Yes,
That
it
shit's
does
fire.
have a logo on it.
Yeah.
That's why,
Black
because
House
at that
Matterworks
at that
killed it
time
on
we
that.
weren't like we weren't really talking on Instagram, but at that time I was like, it's this dude right here. Like it just says ES somewhere. Yeah, and I'm
It's
like, damn, that
right
shit's
there.
sick.
You can see it next to the 6 Series. I built that bitch in like a weekend. Even
Ooh,
the
I
spare
like the
tire
spare
mount. Look
tire
at that.
mount.
It's even braced. It's TIG welded. Obviously,
Yeah, it's nice.
Come on.
It's got ramps for the little cubby for the race ramps and shit.
Oh, is that what that's for in the front?
Fuel jugs, race ramp, whatever you want to put in
yeah,
there.
whatever you put on there. I put
Come
the
on.
race ramps on there.
Now, do you paint this or you just go? Okay,
You
gotta
steal it, and then you guys, you like steal it?
paint. I've never used it yet.
I could have sworn it was like the best shit ever, and then Josh did it to this, and it turned to shit in like a week. And I was like, I guess I'm not using this anymore.
And steel, it's supposed to be like you just spray it on steel.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
like
like
you
raw
steal it.
steel, and it's like it's supposed to be
Oh, that thing's sick.
That shit is fire.
Them shits are fucking. It's engraved and laser
Dude,
cut.
this thing looked sick behind the Koya, bro. I'm not gonna hold
This
you.
getting done in 2 days is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Gotta hustle, brother.
That shit was cool, man. And I had the IS right there, and all the wheels were right there, bro. Fire.
Yeah, it's cool.
Josh's trailer's sick too because it's a tilt deck, so then you fucking eat, you know.
You know, it's actually funny. You know, when I first started doing the welding business, dude, it was like years ago now. I had Justin from Flipsco do the logo.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know anyone. I don't know. I'm
Dude,
not
I
good
was
with computers.
just talking to
good.
Justin the other
I'm
day.
not good with computers, and I was like, I made a post. I'm like, who can design me a logo? And I like crayoned ES and then the TIG torch, and I was like, I want this. And he like did one. I was like, can you just change this? And I was like, mint. And that was it.
I
And I've been
just
rocking
got.
the logo ever since. And I love my logos.
I
Yeah, it looks
literally just was speaking to Justin the other. I had no idea
haven't
you
talked to him in a
two
minute. He's a
know
fucking
each
great
other.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned that he was coming back up here, and he was like, "I gotta watch you drive the IS," and I was like, "You don't think I would let you just drive the IS?"
yeah.
Because then you know what would happen.
What?
The bug would bite again.
yeah.
The bug would bite
yeah,
again, and then
got
all the
kids,
boats,
and
all
he's
the boats.
adult. He's adulting.
Yeah, but Gray is going to get like older. Gray's probably driving now.
Yeah.
No, he's actually like
I don't think so.
one.
Yeah, I was gonna
He
say
came
like,
by- he
like
came
is
by
he
the other
walking?
day.
But he's what?
Yeah.
Justin's here.
How long ago was that, Malcolm? Before I lie.
Few months.
Okay.
That was not the other day.
If you asked me,
The other day.
if you asked me to tell
Other
you
day.
when that was,
It was
I would,
winter.
I would tell you.
No,
it was
but he
more
was.
than 2
I
months
was like,
ago.
bro, you mean when you drive the car? Like that's fine. I don't care. Like what, bro? I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him, and we're gonna get him back because Justin was a good driver, and I would
probably
like
just
to
doesn't
drive
wanna
with
spend
Justin.
the money.
That's what I was talking about. I remember his S13 with the 15 front end. He had an ISIS, whatever you want to call it, the blast pipe.
Yeah.
And dude, it had the most insane pitch to it. It was like,
No, that thing's those pipes sucked because they
but
would
it
always
was
do the
that.
whistle.
It
That's
had
what
that
you're talking about.
crazy whistle,
Yeah.
and you would hear, dude. It would be like coming out of entry, like
Is that what you were
where
talking
you
about?
start, and it would be
Yes.
like. what the fuck is that? And dude, it
Yeah.
sounded like someone doing a train whistle.
I fucking hate
it.
it.
It was preposterous. It didn't make any sense.
The 1JZ doesn't need none of that.
That's
if you
what
have
I'm
any of
talking
that
about.
bullshit
You don't
on
know
your
that-
1JZ.
that's the
know
noise.
what it is.
You would hear it and be like,
We were trying to figure out ways to get it to not do that.
Yeah, dude, 1J.
It would be like,
the pure 1J sound was. There's
Yeah.
there's a video. Hobby
isn't the
took a
1J
video.
away now?
The 1J is,
Or
in
the
my
GEs
opinion, the
converted
GE.
to T.
Yeah,
because
that is
two
what-
J's are insane now.
Yeah,
But Dart makes a block for him now. But that's way past that.
fortunately, I would manage to get my 1J, and now I have it.
that must have been the most expensive thing you ever bought.
Life is so
Dude, it's
Okay.
insane what y'all are paying for these motors.
it's ass.
No, I'm not. No,
don't,
it's
don't,
ass.
don't,
Like I'm
don't,
not
don't.
being a dick. Yo, what? When I like just got in the
You spent
cars,
$7,000 on a welder. Fuck out of here.
my welder makes me money.
Mine doesn't. Yeah, that's,
That welder has, in fact, almost bought me a house now. brother.
that is
I'm
true.
sorry, but that SR on a pallet, no offense, SRs or even
No,
K series.
offend
A
the
K series
SR.
used to be
Be
$300.
careful, be
No, I
careful.
respect them. I love
No,
them.
offend it because
But
this
like, yo,
shouldn't happen.
what is going on with these
Seven-
fucking prices, bro?
People are buying
It's
them.
insane.
People
though.
are spending
like,
money.
yo, like fight the market. Like,
Yeah,
stop buying
they don't.
shit.
They
please.
won't do that.
It's insane, bro.
When we were at
Slow
Alex's-
down.
Adam LZ
It's
did
not
it.
Adam LZ's fault, bro.
It's Adam LZ's fault.
You also know. I don't know Tom well enough. I know Josh a little bit.
It's not Tom's
Y'all
fault.
be blowing up some good amount of SRs.
no, Tom did.
Adam LZ.
Tom blew up like
his
5.
influence of being
6.
important is what skyrocketed the
Yeah,
price.
because he got
for sure.
all these kids into drifting, and all their parents are just buying the engines at whatever price.
That's true.
Yeah,
So-
but isn't it a double-edged sword? Because don't we all like growing the community and making sure the community goes?
It's
and
fine
now
for me right now. My car doesn't
Yeah,
run,
it's-
so
Yeah.
I don't need to buy anything.
And there's a couple in the back, so
until
he's mint.
Yeah.
until
I have to buy stuff.
until you have
But
to
if
buy
you-
another.
Yeah.
one.
Then
If
it's
you
gonna
hit
suck.
the point where like, yo, I'm not spending 10 grand, like what motor would you do? Would you start doing like KATs?
I already have a plan.
I'll always fix an SR.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
gonna
but
fix
there's
an
gonna be a
SR.
point like
No, there's not.
You know what we should invest in? Who's gonna like reman blocks and
Recast the
heads?
blocks.
Yeah, that's gonna
wow.
happen.
You know what's bullshit? I just did a hybrid valve cover for a CJ OG Sweet Tea on Instagram. The day I finished it, TF Works posted, "We make one
Yeah,
now."
yeah.
Dude, the day,
Yeah.
and CJ texted me he's like, "You would not believe
probably made a whole jig
what
and
the
everything
fuck
for it."
happened." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "It happened." And
Hey,
he
at least
sent
you
me
got-
the link
at
for the
least you got your
pre-order.
job done.
I was like, here's me. I edited a whole ass reel. I was like, I can do these bitches, and it came out great. And then, dude, the day I was like, "Hey,
Zach's probably like faxing you to hit me up.
hey, it's done." And then they're like, "The pre-order starts today." I'm like, bruh. Dude, literally, I was like, bruh.
Hey,
bruh.
hey, but what if we get any of those jobs? They going.
Yeah, but now with the valve cover,
But the
Yeah.
TF Works thing,
yeah.
it's whack. It's not TF Works isn't whack. The fact that it's stamped TF Works, like I'd rather
I
have it
agree.
say Nissan.
I agree.
Like
I
I'm gonna
said that
do
to
one
them.
for James Morales soon,
Yeah.
just because he's
Hey,
on the
James
same.
has been buying
James
a
is
bunch
the
of
fucking boy.
shit, man.
Bro,
James
boy's got
is-
more TEs
He's
than
buying things.
Yo,
dude.
I met
you-
James.
have you seen his collection recently?
We talked to him recently, but I haven't seen it.
You talked to him recently?
James, slow the
Yeah.
fuck down. First of all,
I haven't talked to James, dude. I've
I don't
known
know what- I
James.
don't know what he's
I met
doing.
James.
he's restoring a fucking.
cocaine. What's he doing?
He works for not the power company, but he works for the.
Is that the same place he
Con
always
Ed?
worked for?
Con Ed. He works with Miyagi.
I don't know.
Miyagi works like you don't even fucking know where your own friend works.
That guy's a loser. He
I'm
moved.
sorry, I know a lot. I might be wrong, James, but I believe that's what he does.
I
Like,
think he always worked there, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, dude, come on, that came out great.
Yeah, it did. It's lagging.
Next
pretty
fucking,
sure I
next
s-
fucking day. Oh, we make them now,
Yeah.
dude. I was actually like, it'd be sweet because like I do like the whole car, so sometimes it's nice to just sit at the welding bench and be like, and just
We did install the
in
TF
headphones
one,
and
though.
stuff.
Dude,
The TF
I
one
can't
is
wait.
good.
No, it's good. Absolutely. Like, great
But I
product.
agree.
Props for making it. But like, it was like, damn, I could maybe do like maybe 4 of these, you know, like
Yeah.
make a buck. And then it was like,
We would have been hitting you up.
There's
But now,
there is
Gotta-
there was a time where I went to James's house and I forgot what the fuck I was buying. Fuck. That was years ago that when he had the white 180 before it
when
got
he was
beat.
with Keith Henning and Davis.
Keith.
Before it got
Keith,
beat.
I love you, Keith.
Keith is
Fat,
so funny.
fat Keith, skinny Keith. I love Keith so much. I haven't seen him in a minute. He's my boy.
I responded to a Facebook ad after years of not seeing James, and I go to the house. The kid comes out that I'm buying these wheels from. They're SSR GT7 or Volk GT7s. Sick wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the Need for Speed under.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, the Volk Racing GT7s. They were so nice. But that kid comes out, but then James also comes out, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, yo. And then that day, he also managed to convince me to buy his Type X tails. So then I bought the Type X tails, and then my 240 was done.
Speaking of Type X tails, Keith lended me a center garnish once because I didn't have one, and I was going to final bout or something. I just want to let Keith know on this podcast, you're never getting that back because I asked
thought
you
that was
many
going to
times.
go way the other way.
No, I asked him so many times to take this thing back, take it back, and now it's gone. I don't know where it is. And
Is that
screwed,
at the
Keith? You're
is that
screwed.
at the shop that is not to be named? Did that ever was that one?
That's another taillight center garnish that I got screwed on. No, I got screwed on that. Keith gave me this because he's a genuinely nice guy.
That's crazy because the current prices were not the prices back then. But
Yeah, but now I'm like, dude, you ain't getting that shit back, man. I had so many
dude.
chances.
Oh, is that on your car?
I don't know where it is.
Oh,
I don't know if it's the one on my car.
It's the
or
one
if
on your
it's-
car, bro.
If it was one that was laying around. I think it was laying around somewhere, and I was like, yo, come get this.
Yo, Keith, I'm
get
crashing
this.
into that shit.
And he
I
never
love
got
Keith.
it.
Well, do you know? Remember Keith's white car?
Yeah.
So James's car he's currently restoring is Keith's white car.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
Keith,
yeah.
James is like messaging me. He's like, "Yo,
Why
what's
is James doing all that? Is James, what's going
I
on?
fucking respect it and get after it, brother, because he's always wanted a mint S13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's hitting me up. He's like, "Yo, how would I go about TIG welding a quarter on?" I'm like, "Well, one, I wouldn't TIG weld it because that's like."
Here we go. Back
It's
again.
not like mastercraft. Like it's not like for the faint of heart. Like it's a shitload of work. And he goes like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right." And I'm like, "Buddy, that's all out of here." And I was like, "Buy this, that, and this." He
Yeah.
bought the welder. He bought the plasma cutter. He bought
Holy
a whole
shit.
recorder. He bought, dude. I'm against this one. You're a sunroof car. He's a non-sunroof car. He bought a roof clip because he's gonna
Yes.
convert it to sunroof.
Yes.
Bro, and it's actually
Yes.
like the spot welds are drilled, and he's prepping to do it all.
That's
I
easier
respect
than
the
the-
shit. No, it's easier.
Where? The quarter panel.
James,
Yeah,
where
but
the
still.
fuck are you at? Because if you're still at
Fucking
that same
James
house,
is
I'm
the
pulling
fucking
up.
man. That's
No,
just
he's
crazy.
not. I think they sold that house and he's not there anymore.
No, he's not there anymore. I don't know. He got a new house.
I'm gonna be in
Sunroof is
contact
the
with
way
you,
for
James.
180 SX.
I miss you, bro.
I only ever like it when y'all doing your thing at Final Bout and the
And
roof's
it's
like,
popped.
"Meh."
Yep.
But when it's just in a parking lot,
No, it needs to
Dude,
be open at all
when
times.
when we drive, my shit about to be.
You have an IS300.
It doesn't matter. 180 is 180. It's in you. I drive any
You're not a 180 guy, Carl.
any
You're a
fucking
Lexus
drift
dude.
event. I'm
He's
pulling
had
up
so many cars.
I'm
like-
pulling up a photo
It's okay,
right now.
so have
Any
I.
photo of the IS, that shit tilted always.
I have a genuine
Always.
question for your IS. Why the front bumper be doing that?
It does that. The up thing. I think it's
That's
a
an
mix.
actual serious question.
I
Is
think
it
it's
a
a
fiberglass
mix.
thing?
I think it's a mix of a shit mold and the fact that I painted it silver, so it like goes up like
It's-
that.
I
the
saw
bumper
that
is
in
a piece of shit
photo,
bumper.
and I was like,
That's it.
I
No,
straight
no,
up did the
yeah.
what?
The bumper's a piece of shit rip. That's why.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Not everyone's got expensive fiberglass.
Yeah, you see it?
Quote, mhm.
Popped up.
Don't worry, I got a Vertex.
You
one.
guys gotta figure out
Yeah,
how to do
I'm not
like
buying
an
the Vertex one. So
extended
somebody else buy this Vertex one because I don't have money for the Vertex one. Frankie
I don't
could
have money
fucking tell me
anymore.
all he
I'm broke
wants,
as fuck.
bruh. Where your running car at, my boy?
That's true,
Dude.
Where
You
your
have
running
two
car
you
at?
have two shells here.
Where your
As much as I
running
know, more
car
than that.
at?
Well, there's that one in this one I know of.
I got another one.
Loves
With
the
no
Isn't there an
engine.
S14?
No. Actually, there's an S14 outside.
Outside.
But
That's yours?
technically, yeah.
soon to be Malcolm's.
No.
Damn.
Damn. No, I got a black S13 240SX hatch, but it's all done except there's no engine in it. Everything else is done,
Bunch of paperweights, if you ask me.
but there's no engine in it.
My bumper could point up a little bit.
Like it's kitted and everything, like it's done.
No, it's Type X, but it's got the Type X front, but it doesn't have the valances or the rear spats or the lip on it.
Yeah,
but
I
have a
love
lip.
Type X. Why is the wing so small?
The wing is not small for a stock body car.
Because sometimes you'll be seeing them and they're like the stands are in the right spot, but the wing proportionally to the quarter.
You're
it's
probably
like,
looking at a car with over fenders on it.
maybe, but like
Like
sometimes
Tom
I've seen
Nazzaro's
it.
car forever.
That, and then I think Morales had a Type X wing or a Type X rep or whatever it
He had
was.
a Type
And I remember
X wing.
even years ago when I was 18, I was like, why is that so small?
Did he have
'cause
over
it's like,
fenders? I don't think he did.
Because I feel like any piece of OEM aero is always like just one step below what
Aggressive.
you
I
would want
personally
it to
think
be.
the
Yeah.
Type X wing is perfect for stock bikes.
If you're
Stop.
doing the whole Type X thing, it's the best looking.
it is.
But if you get 55 mil overs and all this,
It's-
that, and the
it's not
third,
enough.
then I want a G Corp wing,
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
which is a Type X wing wider.
You know what? If I was ever to build an S chassis, I want a two-tone pig nose S13 on like 13-inch or no 15-inch
Okay.
long champs.
That's cool.
That's the
Long
look
champs
for me.
is-
That's the tiny wheel gang on S
Wasn't
chassis.
that
Is it for
Stance
me?
Nation? My
Oh, the guy who owns Stance
Yeah.
Nation. or
Yeah.
whatever?
Dude, actually, speaking, LZ just bought one off some dude with a K series in it, and it's got it's like a duckbill, but
I
it's
hate that
not,
wing.
and it goes. But when
The
you
B-Wave,
do
the
the
B-Wave.
whole pig nose front, the
Yeah.
two tone, and the little wheels,
It's a small wheel
It
thing.
kind of like it's
I had
the
that
look.
wing. I sold
like
it.
that. If,
It came out the box. When you get it out the box, the B-Wave wing, you're like,
I don't know what the
God
B-Wave wing is."
damn,
That's the one.
That's what that
it's
is?
like a big.
yeah, it's like a long. The
Yeah.
silhouette's huge.
Yeah.
I think my buddy Nitch has one of them sitting in his garage.
I
he wanted to
bought
put on his car.
I bought it, never put it on because I was like, this just looks fucking wild. But then
It's
you look at
crazy.
it in a photo and you're like, that looks cool.
you gotta have the whole aesthetic.
Yeah, the
the
whole
whole.
thing
I had
must look
at the
right.
time, I had a pig nose front SR car.
I
black.
love pig noses. I don't know why.
That's why I
That's
bought-
the fucking look for me.
I saw it and I thought that's what I wanted.
Pig nose
like-
just makes me think of like when I started drifting.
But that's what kind of I like about it because it's like bare bones, like
Yeah.
like grassrooty,
Like a
it's
stock
not,
car.
Yeah, because like when
Yeah.
I got, not that I was ever in the drift, like I didn't drive, but like when I started going to events as media, like everybody was like, Kevin Hagley, he had the Pabst Blue Ribbon thing on his hood.
Okay, yeah.
Like
Whoa,
I know,
yeah, that-
I know,
that sounds
I know.
familiar.
I tube fronted that car, and I like him and Nitch Lewis and like Josh Roloff. They had like those before everyone started figuring out like kits were. At least I did, and I was like, "That's it." I
Yeah.
just liked it, and then I saw one car somewhere on small wheels. I was like,
Yeah.
I wanna do that one
I mean,
day.
our friend, you met Chris outside, the technician here. He had small wheels on his two-tone.
"Isn't he
Sylvia.
on
LMGT2s.
Two, yeah.
Yeah,
they were.
now he is.
They
But
were
he-
mine before.
Dude, to be honest, I liked his car with the small
Chris
wheels.
sells that car. They're coming right back to me. Just know.
Brother, those are expensive, aren't they?
I know
Yeah, now they're expensive.
they were not.
Yeah, Chris is
when I
selling all
bought
this stuff. Chris, just sell your wheels.
them. To me. I got cash ready in my pocket.
You're not going to pay that amount.
Dude, no, I'm going
There
to
is- I-
request that he sells them back to me at the same price.
he will
like
never
we-
do that.
It's more than the
we-
wheels for
he
the what I
fucking
have on my
better.
Beetle, right?
He
Are you
fucking
out of your
better.
mind?
Is he out of his mind? That was the agreement.
Yeah, I'd be honest.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
You really
You
think
got
he would do
inflation
that?
now, brother. A dollar ain't worth a dollar no more.
I bet $5,000.
You know what I'm saying? It's not the same anymore.
How much you buying for?
Oh my god.
You're tripping if you think that
How
I
much
would
you pay for him?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm Chris, you're on the pod.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
You sell your hypothetically, you sell your car, the wheels are not for sale. You're selling me the wheels at what price, at what markup?
Wait, if I sell you the Nismos right now,
Yes.
no,
Are you going to mark it up or are you going to sell them to me at the same price?
if I sell them to you, I'm giving you them for the same price.
Okay, thank
What
you.
a
That's
boy.
it. That's it.
a
That's it.
boy
That's
right
it.
there. What a
Thank you. I
fucking-
love you.
champ.
I'll talk to you.
Well,
I just want an
I-
argument.
If it was not someone that you're immediate
Love
boys
you.
with,
Bye bye.
bump that price up.
Blood runs
Wait, so
thicker
are those
than
wheels-
water.
There's no
Fuck
blood
outta
involved
here.
in that.
It's a steel wheel. It's aluminum technically, but
Chris, you're an idiot.
Are those wheels more than what we said the wheels were outside were worth?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
right?
assume so. Like way
What are they
more,
worth?
right?
I'm just happy.
So
I fucking
what did
won
you
that
pay
shit.
for them?
I'm not going to tell you.
You fucking idiot.
I paid $500 for them when I bought them.
Chris is retarded.
When I bought them, I drove to the Canadian
Yo, Chris,
border.
I don't know you. That's retarded.
Yeah, that's
that's
retarded.
straight up R worded, bro.
I drove
Nah, you
to
get
the
that $3,000
Canadian
they're worth
border,
for what I think they're worth.
14 hours round
I
trip.
don't care if you drove to Australia.
I respect your hustle, but yo, Chris, you make a buck, bro. You trying to sell shit off to buy
They're
a house
not
or whatever?
gonna Fucking
Good
go
for you,
nowhere.
Carl.
They're not going to go
Good for you,
nowhere.
Carl, but like, also
Yeah.
not good for you. Why'd you sell them?
Yeah.
To Chris at a cheap price
Why?
because I was in a pinch.
But they weren't worth that much money back then?
They were still worth A lot of money back then.
That fucking Tommy
They're not
F.
cheap
boy raised
wheels.
the price of them
17
stupid
by
things.
9 plus 23 square
He's
set.
the reason for that.
I believe so.
No, COVID was.
COVID fucked
Can't
up
blame
everything.
COVID for everything.
I
COVID
will
was.
say,
During
though-
COVID, they were $11,000. I watched those wheels go up.
$11,000.
Yeah. They're
Well, yeah,
not.
because they're R32 GTR spec like tits. Isn't that like the wheel Nismos
yeah,
came with?
mine was the plus 23
So
set.
you're telling me that is worth, and you paid $5.
Yeah, 500.
Chris, sell them to someone else.
I'm still,
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about
that's
Chris. and I'm like,
mind-boggling. Y'all boys, fist bump, buy him 10
And
packs of beer. Yo,
if I
get
was
the-
you, I would be like, Chris, sell these
that's
for
a down payment
11,000.
to a truck.
Law. Blood is thicker.
There's no blood.
There's no blood.
Not with Chris.
I respect that they're doing. Nah, I'm sorry, bro. I'd have to sell them to someone else. That's the whole Beetle.
It is what it is.
It's a whole car.
That's a whole ass car, bro.
I do you a favor.
I
do
thought they
me
were
a favor.
$3,000.
That's nuts.
Maybe like 4,500.
I would maybe give him more money.
no shit.
Like in this aspect.
I mean, I don't think you would, but you should.
like 150%
Maybe.
more than what he.
I don't know what you would even give him.
I don't know. It doesn't
If
matter.
I was you,
That
I'd-
front bumper.
if
what
I was you and he was selling them, I'd be like, Chris, honestly, just sell them to someone else.
What was said was said, and that's all I care about.
Now I know my employees' brain power.
That's wild.
Did not pawn it.
God damn, brother.
This guy just can't believe that I have friends that loyal to me because
I
I'm
gotta
just
say that's
as
pretty
loyal.
wild because I don't know if I got any friends
I'm
that
just
crazy
as
loyal.
loyal to
'Cause
all
I'm
my
dead
friends,
ass would be
bro.
like, you make that bag, you send them to someone else. I fucked up selling you to begin with.
No,
Chris could sell them for some crazy number and pay you.
I don't care. I want the wheel. I'll never have the wheel again.
For $11,000.
No one's paying $11,000.
I was about to say that is insane.
So how much are they?
They're definitely not. They're probably like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000,
Are they all
$6,000 now.
bougie with like gold hardware and shit?
Now they are. Chris like powder coated them and shit. They're not original finish. They came original finish,
Does that hurt?
silver, old
value
logo.
I don't know shit about
It kind of, I don't know. People see it like it could hurt the value. It could increase the value. It all depends how well it was done. And it was done really, really well at by Regal back when. And
Yeah.
yeah, they look good.
They're
But
cool looking wheels. I would pay about $500 for them.
I'm not into the whole crazy 3-piece thing.
I wasn't either. I
It's
wanted a
such-
wheel.
Everyone I know has such a hassle with
I
them.
bought those and had no idea what the fuck I got. I drove
That guy
7
obviously didn't know
hours.
either.
7 hours, went into a sketchy apartment, came out with wheels. My girlfriend at the time also was just like, this is really fucking sketchy. We drove home. Done. We actually stopped to see Niagara Falls too in my S13
Yo,
coupe.
have you been to Niagara Falls recently?
No, why? What's going on?
Bro, I went there last midwinter. I went because some dude at a hot rod shop was selling a tool I could use, and I was like, this is a fucking good deal. I'm gonna leave Friday, get an Airbnb, then drive back Saturday morning with my best friend Carlos. We go to the shop, the hot rod shop, pick up the tool, and we're like, oh, what are you doing after this? It's like, oh, we're going to the falls. And the guy was like, good luck. And I was like,
What?
dude, I was like, okay. And I like let it alone. And then he had a business partner, and my buddy was talking to a business partner, and he was like, yeah, like I wouldn't go there. And I was like, all right, that's probably just because he's local. He's seen the stupid falls the whole time, this and that. Bro, we drove to the falls. I'm not kidding you. And I work in like Irvington, Newark in the middle of the night for my normal job sometimes. It was by far worse.
What are you talking about?
It was just like sketchy, the neighborhood.
Really?
Dude, I'm not kidding you. Like the worst part of Patterson, Irvington, and Newark, Niagara was way worse. What the
no, that's where I,
was
picked
like,
up the wheels. It was
what
really
the
sketchy.
fuck is going
I'm telling
on?
you, it was
Like,
sketchy as hell.
Because when the guy said it, he looked at my buddy. He was like, "You're fine." He goes, "You're not so good." I was like,
Did your buddy look more like Malcolm?
"Yes."
Okay.
And then I was like, low key, I was, dude, I swear to God. And I looked and I was like, that's crazy to say. And I just like kept the conversation rolling. And then he like, the other guy doubled down, not doubled down, but he almost did the same thing. And I was like, where the fuck are we going?
Dude.
And then we just like, all right, well, those guys are fucked up. And then we started like driving my Tacoma into the fucking fall, like near the falls. Yo, bro. It's crazy because the Canada border is like right there,
Yeah.
and there's like the big beams in the sky,
I went on the Canada
casinos
side.
and shit, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that
mine
looks
is-
like a blast. And then you're here, like there's an old like
On the US
abandoned
side. You're on the US
helicopter
side?
pad. The windows are broken out of the building.
Yo.
There's a crackhead sleeping on the floor, and
Yeah.
it's like 40 degrees outside.
No
Dude,
one
I'm
gets
not making
this.
it up.
I said that. Yes, it was
Bro, it
really
was
sketchy,
insane.
bro. It was really
And
fucking
then I booked
sketchy.
an Airbnb 10 minutes from the falls, thinking like, we're gonna see the falls, we're gonna do some
No,
cool
no,
touristy
you're too
shit.
weak.
We got to Airbnb, sat down, and we're in the Airbnb, and it was like a motorhome, not a motorhome, but like a double wide or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there like watching Netflix, and I heard a cough, and I was like, and then I heard a cough again, and the bitch split the rental piece in half, and there was like a room that was herself. I was like, and then I read the fine print of the thing. She's like, sometimes I'm there just sleeping in the alone room, and I'm like, nope. And then we left like 11.
Wait, what?
Dude, swear to God, it was and then we left like 11 o'clock at night. I got home at like 7 in the morning. I
just
drove
in
there
there?
and back. Yeah.
I told you, dude.
Crazy,
when
dude.
when I got to this guy's spot, it wasn't even the guy that I was talking to. So then I thought that I was getting kind of fucked over because this is Craigslist days. This is not
Ooh,
Facebook
Craigslist.
Marketplace.
I miss Craigslist.
This is so I have a phone number and an email address, a normal physical address, and a dream. And this fucking guy, when I show up, I'm talking to him for like an hour, bro. And then I'm like, oh, so like, where are the wheels? And the dude was like, what wheels? And I was like, fuck. Mainly because I got to go tell my now ex-girlfriend, like, hey,
We wasted the day.
like, remember, yeah. But then, thankfully, the kid, like, walked up behind that dude and he was like, hey, like, what are you doing here? Like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, I'm here to sell you the wheels. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Actually, a really nice dude. Definitely a little strung out, but gave me free gear oil. Like, anything he had for the 240, he was just giving it to me. And then I went home with a bunch of shit, stopped at Niagara Falls, and
Not good.
dude, yeah.
No, I'm not kidding
I'm telling you, it was really.
Patterson Falls is almost just as like big. I'm not fucking around, bro. Like, if I had someone's like, "Oh, we're thinking of going," don't go.
Just go to Patterson?
We got
Dude, it's not
Niagara right here.
It's not that fucking good. Like,
Yeah,
I was
New
expecting
Jersey
to
got
go there,
everything, bro.
and I was like, "This bitch is gonna be big as fuck." Because all I've ever seen is it as a kid. I haven't been there ever in my adult life. We get there, and I was like more than just me and my friend. We're looking around, like, that's it, dude. It's like.
Did you go after like a fucking dry season? When I went, I
Bro,
swear I was
it
like,
was-
I get in there, I'm done. Because you see the water like running up to
It
it. and
was
you're
not
like,
that
"God damn,
fucking
this is
cool."
a lot."
I mean, the Canada side was pretty cool.
Yeah. It looked
But I
kinda
heard
sick.
that that's how it is, right?
You
Yeah.
ever go on to Maid of the Mist?
Is that when you do that little trail?
Yeah.
No, because it was like middle of winter.
I watched people do that.
I've done it, yeah.
I was like, oh, look at them down there.
Look at him,
I was like, look at those
Americans.
Americans.
Dude,
Idiots.
I got on. I was in there as a kid, yeah.
Yeah, I
you're
did that
in
shit
the-
when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, I was a young kid. My parents,
I mean,
probably my mom.
looking over, I was like, yeah, this side probably is the better side.
Yeah, because you're
see
looking
things
like at it, where the
Yeah.
other side you're like,
yeah,
yeah, it's weird.
So from the Canada side, you're like, damn, look at that crackhead over there.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a shockingly bad. It's like I was amazed. Me
No,
and my
there's
buddy.
I wonder if it
bridge
still
there,
is.
too.
I don't know.
Dude, this was this year.
Oh God.
This was this year. Yeah.
So you can cross that bridge that's right there, right, and go from Canada to the other.
Yeah,
side.
but you just need your like passport and shit. You ain't getting back in.
I went like a different way. I got in a different way. That's why I was like,
not a
legally.
not a secret.
Legally,
Wait.
legally.
Whoa.
legally. The water was cool.
Under
though.
defense.
That
Under the
Canada
Under
water's cool
defense.
looking.
That is insane. What about that dude who went? Wasn't there a guy that went down in a barrel? Or
Oh,
was
yeah.
that-
Isn't that like every waterfall ever?
Did that guy die?
I think so. I think isn't that like a thing? It's all in like the cartoons and shit.
Yeah, but
Eddie, can you get the questions?
you
in
had to
here?
have been dying.
So you can ask us a question.
You had to die, like if you did that. I'm gonna find this. Photo.
You had to die. There's probably one dude who lived, but like, I think his ribs aren't okay, or he doesn't walk
His
anymore. Like,
ribs
you know,
ain't
like
good.
you can't take that impact and not break every
Two
rib.
people have done it and survived.
Yeah, like it was like recently, like during like a metal designed engineered
No,
barrel.
probably back when that's all they had to like fuck around in.
Dude, that bitch was probably like mahogany, like 2 layers,
Yeah.
and like it was like hillbilly ingenuity,
It's
but like
probably
it
just
worked.
Like someone's like, "Yo, I bet you won't go in that barrel and let us push you down this
Well, if
waterfall."
you think about it, the barrel with him in it would probably like boom into the water and like bounce back.
You're basically
but
just-
it needs to survive the
Yeah,
hit.
that hit
Is the hit.
is the hit that's gonna kill you.
You're basically just hoping
That
you don't
bottom.
And the
hit
water is broken because that's how you die when you fall off a bridge because the water surface tension isn't broken
Yeah, and the
because you're hitting a wall basically. Yeah, so it's like disturbed.
Yeah, so it's
I have
easy.
no idea.
So it's easy.
It's easy, bro.
Not us
Let's
trying
get
to
that faction
Let's go
barrel
try
going.
it. Look. Niagara Falls, New York. There's my coupe.
That shit fucks.
Yeah, what happened to that car?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's
Yeah, well,
there we
you
go.
know.
There we go.
Sometimes you win some, sometimes you
We
lose
got
some.
T-boned by Mini Cooper.
all right, Zach, we got some questions from Instagram.
We did, yeah.
Eddie's gonna help us read these off.
There it is. That was the car that I was gonna put the wing on. Pig nose LMGT2.
I
Is
fuck
that-
with it.
Where is that?
That's at
Bear
Bear
Mountain.
Mountain, yeah. Pig nose, man. Look at that shit.
That shit fucks.
You gonna read it?
Yeah, you got some good questions.
Yeah, you pick them out, Eddie.
Don't read all of them now.
Yeah, you got to screen them because
Did we even get any?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
I had
Hell
one
yeah.
friend say he made a crazy joke into it, so like
It's gonna be hard to decipher that through the other crazy jokes.
I didn't even know what he said, and he was like, "Just wait," and I was like,
if
I'm
you
just gonna
close
let
your
that one roll.
I'm sorry, I got to point this out. If you close your eyes, Frankie, tell me you're not hearing Josh roll-offs.
Well, and he talks.
Yes.
"I talked to Josh today, actually."
Yeah, a little bit.
God,
Yeah.
I can't unhear it. I can't unhear it.
Yeah,
I must be
they
missing.
sound similar.
I must be missing Josh. I love Josh.
Josh is. I met Josh through Nitch Lewis. He used to drive the purple car and a Miata for a while. I put a tube front end on that car, and dude, he's a great dude.
Yeah.
Josh is
I
a
love
fucking
Josh.
dude.
He's hit me up about doing a cage today. One
This
of his
is
cars.
this is my favorite scene I ever have of Josh. He's got like his fucking hat on, the Marlboro hat on. I don't know if he's still wearing the same fucking hat, but Josh, get a new hat. Like we got faction ones, or I don't know if we have any more.
We ran out.
But he was about to get on track, and Josh, I'm like, yo, and he goes, I don't know what's about, and that's the look of Josh, and I
yeah,
just
I know
know
what you're
Josh.
saying.
It's just like I don't know
hands.
what's about to happen. It's
Yep.
like, you know what's about to happen. You're about to go drive. Like fuck. All right, Eddie, why are you looking so concentrated right now?
Eddie's waiting to speak.
Advice for those wanting to learn how to fabricate. Elijah Blue.
Oof. That's
my boy who moved here from Hawaii.
you
What
know
up, Elijah?
genuinely, you gotta not be scared to fuck shit up. Not that like don't take customer work, but like take the initiative and try to do shit for your own car, like I did back in the day, like when I built that hard body. You can't be scared to like fuck something up and then look at it and like genuinely be like, I can make it better by doing X or Y. If you don't have that in you, it's very hard because I did years of just using like a grinder and a cutting wheel and a polish wheel, and you could get through it and you can get a lot done with that shit. Like that hard body, the first version of it was straight up a cutting wheel and a flapping wheel. That was it.
Yeah.
I didn't have any tooling at all. I didn't buy tooling until COVID hit. So like, you could get it done with the bare
So
minimum.
all the fitting of like the pipes and shit, that's you
Straight
just
up,
sitting
yeah.
there going like this,
yeah.
getting it like
When
to
I built
the
that
way
hard body, yeah,
that it would
I didn't
fit.
get any of like
notching. That's the fucking word. Is that it?
the bell mouthing technically.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
where you fit the pipe onto
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
God damn,
Just-
with a flap disc.
Yeah. Well, there's
Oh
little
my
tools
God,
that get
fuck
around when like
that.
3D printing like blew up. They sell like these little slide over the tubes, and there's like,
That thing's crazy.
you know, like when you like go to like I don't know Liberty Science Center, you
almost-
put your hand into it, and like it's like
I'm
that,
almost- yup.
but around the tube, and you're
Ooh,
like, oh,
and-
it's coming in on a 45, and you like push the little needles out, and then you pull that off because it fits the outer diameter tube. Put it on, and then you just like Sharpie.
Those
Yeah.
things are crazy.
Yeah. There's also a lot of come up you can do. Like dude, go to a flea market or a swap meet, buy old files. Files don't go bad. Use that type of shit. Use a big round file. I use that for a lot of my tube coping.
Fuck. Wait, I need to go to fucking flea market and buy some files.
Hershey
That-
is where it's at.
Yo, my dad used to take me to that.
Hershey flea is
The Hershey air.
And
There
then
was
there's
an air
Rhinebeck.
cooled
When is
flea
that one?
market that was there.
Hershey is like peak summer, I believe, and then Rhinebeck is beginning of summer, and then Island Dragway has them every so often. Englishtown used to be phenomenal. My dad used to sell them all the time, and then they're still happening, but they're not as great as they used to be because all the butt hurts. All like, it's not drag track anymore. I ain't going there.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Fuck, damn it! I need to hit some of those up. Fuck. We should go to a
any
flea market
fab
sometime.
question.
That'd
You
be
could just
fun.
bang my line directly. I'll help you out. I'm not great by any means, but I could help you put you in the right direction for sure.
That's very generous of you.
Yeah.
Top favorite fabricators whose work inspires you the most?
Who has that?
Pin stripping by Ad.
Oh, that's my boy. Cornfields Customs. He's a wild fabricator. He does shit that you guys aren't really into, but like
No, what
It's
kind
like-
of stuff? Because
it's
you never know.
like some dude who has some weird old Tri-5 Chevy, some round car, and he's like, do it. And he's like changes the roof line, chops it, drops it, like
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
like it starts as like a 55 Chevy, and then you have a cornfield custom car. Like it's like nothing will mimic a car he did before, and it's just like you pay him what he gets an hour, and in like X amount of money and like 5 years, you just have a car. Like you don't even pick color. It's just you're literally like you're paying to have like a car with his name on it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like. Did you see my story? Friday, I went to Rob Ida's shop.
I don't
Where were
think
you-
so.
That's down right by Englishtown. Rob Ida, he's like a phenomenal fabricator. He's someone I really look up to. He does the same concept. It's like blank check.
Yeah.
Like he has a Type E Jaguar, those long hooded ones. Ooh. And some lady who owns it, I was talking to him who owns it, and he's like, yeah, she's like 6'4". I'm making her fit in it. But like they like brought the whole roof. Like it's like kind of like a fastback. They like brought they left the quarters where they are and then brought the hatch back. And then all the aluminum is like made from scratch and formed in the proper tools and then welded.
fucking
It's not
crazy.
if you pull up any of these Instagrams, it's wild to even understand what I'm saying.
I feel like it'd be easier to just chop her legs and like
But dude,
reassemble
like
the
it's not
bone.
even like that. Like it's just you're paying for having like an Ida car or a Cornfield Customs car or like it's crazy. There's so many great fabricators that it's really hard to even like.
Cornfield Custom.
Yeah, he's
No,
great.
dude.
He
I
does
would
a lot of like
hate if my
instructional
name.
stuff.
What I would want a cooler name.
But the thing
Like an
my
Ida car
understanding-
sounds cool, whatever that is.
I know he has a better last name. I just know his Instagram is Cornfields Customs. But the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, he owns a farm. His family owns a farm, and they put up a pole barn, and like the whole back of his car is like the shop is just like if you go down, you could pull up one of his roadsters he's made.
Yeah, this shit is crazy.
Dude, like keep going. There's so much science behind it, but keep going.
Damn,
keep
that's
going.
seat.
Mike Wagner, his name.
Yeah. So that car with the hot rod, keep going down. I can find a better one.
That's a fucking GT40.
So that right here.
Yeah, he's in Ohio. No wonder it's cornfield.
that. So that car isn't anything.
It doesn't exist, you're saying?
That it's here and it exists. That is straight up a tube chassis and just aluminum he formed and just made.
And how fast is he going in this bitch?
Fast.
Good question.
But like straight up, that's just like, oh yeah, I made that.
I want to know how fast he's going in a car he just built in his garage.
But dude,
one
if
day.
you go to the photos of the chassis, you'd be like, huh?
Like they're on the salt flats right
Yeah.
now. That guy's probably going over.
I wanna take
150
two.
miles
Oh, he's
an
going
hour.
over 2, I'd say.
200 miles.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like either a flathead V8 like the old Model A
Dude,
motors or a
sometimes I
small
work on
block
my
Chevy.
bike and I go down the highway and I'm like, damn, I really
Yeah,
just
like,
took the
go
wheel off
down.
this. I'm kind of scared. This guy built the whole car.
And look, like, so look at that photo. Every inch he did. And like this dude, he's not the type of guy to be like, oh, I'm gonna pull up my CAD software. Like he'll do
Yeah.
basic design, but dude, that's like off the dome. Just like, yeah,
crazy.
The whole thing. That's not started as a Model A, Model T, or anything. Like it takes design cues from it, but he just like, yeah, I made that.
Oh.
And then people pay him, he's like, yeah, I want one. And he'll just be like, you make me something. And he'll like do like with some Sharpies, and then that's that. That's the shit that like I love all the weird cars I fuck with. That's the shit I want to do because they're literally just like build me something because your name's on it. I
just
aspire to be
picturing
like
the
that
fact
one day.
that everything on there is probably built by them. So like,
Dude, no,
the
it's him.
hubcaps and like the front part.
He's a
that
single man garage.
little
Wow.
nose
He has no
piece.
employees.
That's one fucking piece of metal. Like that. That's probably not.
Dude, it's nuts.
There's the first comment. What roll cage is that?
Dude, like exactly. And you're like, it's a tube chassis I made off my jig table, and it's just like, what?
Yeah. You see the floors, Frankie? That's what I'm finna have in my shop right now.
The checkered?
Yeah, it has to be checkered.
We almost did that in the shop.
Dude, that'd be fire! What the fuck?
Would you guys do epoxy?
No, we just grinded and sealed the fucking concrete.
Dude,
And
the
then that was
black
it.
and white checkered floor. That just
No, the
that
shop
just-
is epoxy, but in here we were gonna
Yeah.
do checkered floor. For
That
the
shit looks
showroom.
like that. Just screams
I feel
speed
like-
shop.
Yeah,
bro.
but that like, does that take oil well? You gonna
No.
stain that white?
No, but
No,
they
you
were
don't want
saying
that
like
in
in
shop.
here.
Yeah.
Like in
I mean,
here.
he's
Yeah,
he's
you're
doing
doing
it because
storage or whatever.
It's cool. and
That's
it's
his. That's
smaller.
like his showroom, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the equivalent of that would be like right there, and Frankie's car just right in the middle.
I wish I could fit a car in there, but
You remember that photo that dude? Okay, don't be kicking yourself. But fucking Chris sent us a photo of like what the shop looked like years ago, and
oh yeah,
Dude, it's wild. I came here before any addition because you guys have started in the one single bay, right?
It was basically just that.
That's when I came when I did James's quote for the fender, and I was like, don't do this. Yeah. And then I didn't realize it went that far. That's awesome.
We just knocked that wall down and then
That's
took this
awesome.
whole space. Yeah,
That's so sick, dude.
It's kinda crazy.
Because I remember your car was like, it came around and it was like in the front where by itself, and that's where the big Faction logo was.
Yeah.
Then it sat there for a while.
Yeah, still is.
I mean,
Which one of these is on?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Bro, Carl's just spinning around.
A little to the
I
right.
love it.
Left, up, left. Your
Yeah,
left.
I mean,
That was Faction before.
see, to me, it just feels the same way, but I know it doesn't. I know it's not the
Are
same.
you shitting me? This looks like my garage. Now.
Shit.
Yeah, I
That's
guess.
4 of my garages.
I guess it's because I just,
Built a dealership? Like,
Yeah.
that's
I don't
awesome,
know.
man. All right, let's get another one out here.
Pin stripping by Ad and Evan Fitch have asked about your hair care routine.
hair care routine.
That's wild.
Yeah, because of the thumbnail.
That dude, props for the thumbnail. I look way too good in that. I had mad people tell me to like, what the fuck's up with that? I was like, because 90% of the time I have my hair back.
Yeah.
And, bro, it's like down to here now. It's wild.
I gotta check that thumbnail or whatever. they
Dude,
do.
I look like fucking shit.
So any
Justice.
any hair?
Advice? Fucking clean your hair. I can't stand dude. It's different with long
metal
hair.
shavings and shit probably go
Dude,
crazy.
I condition my girl's gonna stab me, but I condition my hair like every day because it's just metal dust or this and that. Like I have to wear a bandana because when I take my welding helmet on and off, I get broken baby hairs and it frays my hair. It's annoying as fuck.
That photo is crazy.
Yo, dude, I got it. I love it. It was props.
All right, what we got, Eddie?
Crowley Mike, what's been Zach's favorite project so far and why?
That's a hard one.
That is gonna be a hard one.
I probably gotta say it's the car I'm working on right now because it's like, it's one of my best friends, and it's so there's 2 rabbits right now that are fighting for a 9. I've had the privilege to work on both of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so the one guy works at the power company with me. If you go to, there's one where I'm welding a fender arch onto it, and there's a lot of crazy, weird engineering into this car that we like did some hillbilly ingenuity with. It's a white Mark 1, and I've started doing some tube work on it, like intercooler piping, and then it left. It went a little faster, came back, revision number 2, and now it's on revision. Like I don't even understand how many times it's been in my garage, but like every time it leaves, it just gets
both
better.
these rabbits are competing.
You could actually see him right there. So there's the one on the right with the black fender. That's Rooster's car. That's not Adam's.
Rooster.
His Instagram's Rooster on the Hill.
Right there is on the Hoosiers. Right there.
That bitch right there
These
on
cars are both
25 inch
competing,
slick.
and you're fabbing both of them. That's so crazy.
That's one of the biggest flexes of mine.
Right?
Yeah. So like that's the parachute mount. And then actually go back one photo.
Did either one of
That's
them?
Adam's car when I'm welding the chute mount for Roosters, and they're both fighting for it.
Are they
which-
friends?
Yeah, we're all boys.
Oh, wow.
But it's also weird in the world of like drag racing because everyone's like, I ain't telling you my numbers.
Yeah.
Like, not this, not that. You can't tell secrets. But if you go, so that was like the first time I did intercooler piping. I did a sunroof delete because it had some crazy. These cars were so cheap back then. They would put like RV windows as
Yeah.
So
They did that to
we deleted
240s
it.
too.
I made that from scratch. It was cool. Just some one-off panel. Dude, it was so crazy because the way they did it was like 2 inches back. So when you drive, it would just be like the sun would be in your face. It was so stupid. But if you keep going up, go the other way. There's a part where I weld. So we just did a shitload of cool work to it. Keep going. Where is it? Keep going. Down one. Down. You can go to either one of those with the quarter. So up one, I did that. Click that. Yeah. So I made one-off front arches for it to fit a 25-inch slick. So the fender
shit, I
flare,
didn't even notice
it's metal,
that.
so it's thicker. It's actual metal. And I adjusted the air dam so it could fit the bigger flare, and then go to the next photo. So it used to have the go-to cool thing for Mark 1s is Euro bumpers, which were plastic. We reapplied or put on the aluminum GTI bumpers, and then I plated the back of it, and then go to the next photo. I welded a billet cap onto it and sealed the bumper.
Is that the fucking intercooler?
No.
What is that?
Not even close.
Okay.
No, so
What the fuck is
so
that
when you
thing?
look at Civics when they're pro front wheel drive, which is a really fast front wheel drive cars, you know the big fiberglass front end, and they have the big air dam.
Yeah.
That air dam is a like 1/2 inch plate It's a weight plate. So when you launch a front wheel drive car, it tends to just bounce off the ground.
Yeah.
You add all the weight to the front end to physically hold the car to the ground because the launch is so aggressive. When a 25 bites, it wants to like pulpus. So what we did is I made the aluminum backing plate with the billet cap, and then we filled it full of lead like shotgun shot.
Yeah.
So the bumper weighs a lot. I'm not telling the number, but a lot. Drag racing. And then we put a billet cap on it and then like chiseled it shut and doweled it so it can't come out. So when you actually go to the next photo.
I can't wait
think
for a
it's on the
body
car.
shop to take this off. I'm like,
Yeah, with brackets, it's well over 100 pounds.
they're gonna be like,
Keep
what
going.
the fuck?
And it's
is
mounted
this?
to the car like a tow hitch.
That is fucking dope.
Yeah, like 1/4 inch thick mounting brackets just because we wanted more weight in the front end.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sick, dude.
Yeah. It's just cool little details, like shit like that. And then look, the bumper's mounted and you really wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
I modified the stock air dam to fit the big flares and all that.
I'm over
Yeah.
here. I thought that you sealed it up so that you could fucking essentially.
You could see the billet cap in there. So the bumper weighs a shitload of weight. So when it launches, it'll 60 foot better and not like
Yeah.
pulpus the wheels. It hugs the car to the ground. Yeah.
You should do a quick release. So you just dump all that lead all over the track after
Yeah.
you get off the.
That was the thing because we did
After you
it.
get off the line.
And because it started through our job, we have the access to just get lead strips because it's used in the industry. And we're like, we're going to use this. And they're like, how do we safely attach this to the car? And then
Yeah.
we were like staring at it because it had the plastic bumpers. And we're like, let's put the aluminum ones back on and then fill the bumper. And we're like, and then like a week later, Rooster did the same thing. But yeah, like it's cool. And then the cool donut aluminum is the same car. And then now it got a bigger turbo and it went over with the motor and it got a bunch of work. But like it's cool to have a car like 3 renditions now and it leaves and it gets faster and it gets more influence.
Is the
and
same
people know.
engine builder working on both these two?
It's had the same motor the entire time. It's only lost one motor.
Competitors.
Yeah. Well, this one has a 1.8T. Rooster's car, I'm sorry, you told me this 1,000 times. It's like a weird, it's a 16 valve motor out of a Mark II with the head, and then it's like this Frankenstein motor, like people do a 1Js, how you could do a 1.5. His is like that, where Adam's like, no, this works, I'm leaving this in. Because you could put a 16 valve, which is like the Mark II GTI motor, is like the SR. It's a stupid amount of money for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very odd. They're expensive as fuck, and that's what
And these
Rooster
things
runs.
make over 800 horsepower. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
And dude, like that
I-
car has like 60 hits on it last year. Stock rod, just works.
I like when you take one thing and also repurpose it into something else hidden.
Yeah.
Dude. And that is what that is.
Full interior,
Yeah,
everything. Full cage,
fire,
full
fire,
interior, back seat, the whole 9, everything.
Fire.
Yeah.
Love that.
Dude, you know why it stays together? Fuel tech. Fancy ECU. I that's something I thought about was when I turboed my car, I was like, that shit's for the birds. And then you're like, oh, I'll use a chip tune or like
Yep.
you're like the Apexi or whatever you guys
Whoa,
use.
whoa, whoa.
No offense, no, but like
It is
and then
what that
you
is.
hear people
It's
go
okay.
like, Josh and Tom have been on a fuel tech. Their shit's been working. Not a fuel tech. They're on a link.
Link, maybe?
Dude, the standalones and the tuners, everything. Like I never would have like
Pexi's a standalone.
3 years. It's a piggyback, isn't it?
No, it's a standalone.
Is it?
It's a full.
It just was made in
ECU,
2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the little
Has
thingy.
no fail
But dude,
safes.
I'm telling you, the tuner is everything. Like that thing's got traction control
Yeah.
on all 4 corners. You know the wheel speed of the front to the back, so you know it's spinning. Like that's crazy.
On what car?
That GTI.
He's
So-
got sensors and like.
Yeah, dude, that thing is it's they're both like that. So you have a wheel sensor on the back wheel and the front wheel, and when it leaves, you're like, oh, the front's going faster. It's spinning. And you know, you're like, oh, well, we need to either drop tire pressure or like go about to 60 foot better.
Yeah.
That's how crazy drag racing is. It's not like this, the science behind it just makes me like nerd out. And you're like, just to be a part of it's cool because he's like, I guess you'd call him my company car when we go to the track. Like,
Yeah. That's
like,
cool.
It's cool. Yeah. Now it's got like, it used to have a full
And when it blows
exhaust.
up, it doesn't really matter. It's not your car.
I get to go drag racing and I get to be the whole experience. Sorry, Adam. It's very cool. But yeah, like now it's got like a hood exit exhaust because we wanted to like take 30 pounds out of the car and
That
the new
shit
turbo
launches, it's like-
manifold. Dude,
All right,
it's nuts.
Eddie, shoot us with another one.
Yeah.
Matt Rad asks, how many more track days with the Rabbit till you go full race car?
I told myself if I get through this year without blowing up this another ABA bottom end, it's coming apart to get a full cage.
Now it blew up.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying if this bottom, I'm picking up a bottom end tomorrow. I'm saying if this bottom end does not in fact last
okay.
like a few events, and I can get the ABA, the 8 valve to like work. I'm not trying to go there and be like, I put it around. I'm trying to like literally be.
Yeah.
Like if you're going
Drive
there
the fuck
and you're
out of it.
just
You're already
like,
there.
I'm here. It's a fun time. No, like I'm pushing it like 10 tenths.
Yeah.
I'm singing it to 7,500. Like all of it. If it can't handle that, I can't make it handle that. Maybe a different motor platform I'll figure out. Like just maybe a K series or something else. But like, that car is destined to be a track car for sure.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna get fully caged. It's gonna get all that. But it has like the period correct Recaros, which are for sale soon if anybody wants them. They're expensive. Help me fund the cage.
I know somebody. That guy Elijah fucks with BMWs and those Recaros.
Yeah, but the back seat, the front seat was reupholstered to match the back seat, so it fits a Mark 1 perfectly.
Oh, okay. Hey, Elijah, still, man.
Bang my line if you want.
Yeah, gotcha.
You're taking the back seat.
All right, Eddie.
Kai Low, what was your worst fabrication related mistake and how did you fix it?
Oh, dude, I fucking.
It must have been pretty
dude,
fucking
I got
bad,
a
bro.
good one. When I was in high school, so I worked at his shop for this dude named Bruce. It was Fit Fabrications. I fucking hate this dude now. But long story short, no, there's a long story with this. So we used to work in the city, and we worked on real bougie shit. Like we worked in the Hershey house. The people, like the era of Hershey, it was physically their house. They had a Picasso in the house, all that shit.
Whoa.
When you went into the job site, you had to take your boots off. You had to get through a metal detector. You had to come through a metal detector when you leave. It was like they went through your bags. So like, why do you need this hammer? Why do you need that? Dude, it was wild. Long story short, me and my brother were doing on a job. And when you went up, it was an entire apartment building they bought that was converted to be their home. But when you went up the floors, the flat parts between the stairs was glass. And it was thick layered glass that was like 3 inches thick, and it was tempered, and it was like 1/8 inch layers, but it was like laser engraved, polka dots offset each other.
Can
so
we
when you
find
look
this on
through
the
it,
internet?
maybe, I don't even know. It was probably, but so
Dude.
it's happened. We were working there. We're hanging brass or bronze trim, some crazy expensive piece. My brother was like the foreman. I was like a dumb dipshit 18-year-old on a ladder with a pair of dikes cutting shims. The dikes, I cut the dikes, put them on my ladder. They fell off the ladder, hit the glass, shattered the glass. Listen to this. On God, this happened. My brother would love to tell the story because he almost lost his job for it. They had to shut down, is it Madison Ave, the crazy part of the city where all the stores are? They had to shut that down, shut the street down, pull the siding off the house, pull the floor up, which was like some crazy bamboo from Japan, repay the dude. It literally, I'm pretty sure the guy declared bankruptcy from the shop I worked at, and then he like reopened up because at that point, I left because he was 2 weeks behind on pay, and my brother left when he was like 6 months in, behind on pay, like he's not getting paychecks. And then I left the minute the writing was on the wall.
it was from all this shit?
Oh, it stemmed from it for sure. Dude, it was the worst thing I've ever done. I swear to God, that's a true story. And it was like, I remember it happened, it fell, and my ladder like tipped into the broken glass, and I like looked at my brother, and he was like, what the fuck? I was like, huh. And it was literally, he was like, just leave. And I just like, being like, I was like, it's not a big deal. And then like I left because I was a dumb kid, and I was just walking the streets of the city. I stopped at like a bodega, grabbed some Pringles, and my brother was like dealing with the boss, getting yelled at, getting chewed out, all this
So
shit.
your brother kind of like...
Oh yeah, my brother saved my ass.
Yeah.
So my brother used to do the fabrication shit with me. We used to do like contracted work, and then he works. He's a phenomenal job now, does really well. But like we used to do it a little bit together, nothing car related. But yeah, dude, my brother is fucking the man. But yeah, he 100% saved my ass. Yeah,
That is the
terrifying,
craziest
bro.
story.
I'm just
that was
picturing-
the craziest, dude. And you just the tip just fell into the glass, and I remember that kind of stood up, and I was like, and it was like one of those things. Like we looked at each other and we looked down. And I was like, and it was like, oh, it's gonna take us 30 seconds. Let's just bang it out. Fuck it. Fuck putting moving blankets down to protect the glass, dude. They had to rip the floor, pull the siding off the house, shut down the street, hire a crane. Do all that shit, get the new piece of glass made.
They had to pull it out the side of the house?
They had to physically pull the window out of the house, pull the siding off the house. Dude, the sheet of glass was bigger than this table. It was probably 2 of these tables wide and like maybe 2 long. Yeah. Dude, it was like this thick, and it was tempered glass. So when you looked through it, like approaching it, you would see the dots. You would see through it, but when you came to it, it was not transparent. It was the craziest fucking house I've ever been in.
And it was in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm. And I broke the floor.
You broke the floor.
Yeah. That was a crazy. I love that story.
We're going to top that story.
No, you ain't stopping that, bro.
Yeah.
I'm borderline bankrupt somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was over 100 G's.
To fix it?
Yeah, it was like I'm
I fucking
almost
bet
2.
a crane
Yeah.
shut down the street.
Dude,
This, that,
just
and
the
the third,
crane was
you're
probably
fucked.
over 50.
Oh my god. All right, Eddie. I know you're in shock.
I bet he loves that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucked some shit up.
Roddy's ride along. When was the moment you realized that fabrication was your thing?
Too many Legos as a kid.
That's interesting.
Dude, that
I'm the
dude,
same
I
way.
was that nerd. You know how people have the train sets?
Yeah.
I had those white fold-out party tables, and
me.
once I found out you could buy the city roads, I had the city set up, all this and that, and then probably the biggest thing is my dad's a hot rod guy, and that orange Plymouth he built in our garage when I was a kid. So I instantly knew like, you don't need to leave the motor that's in it and in it. You could do whatever fuck you want. Because like my dad's truck is a 41 Plymouth on an 89 Dakota chassis. And then progressively as we got older and got through high school, like he put a V8 in it. And I was like, how the fuck did you do that? He goes, it's a fucking carburetor. He goes, you hook that wire up and it runs. And I was like, amazed. And I was like, nuh-uh. And it would work. And then like he did that and then the trans blew up. And then he's like, yeah, so like that bell housing is the same as like an XJ Jeep. And everyone builds those. So I just went on Marketplace or Craigslist and I found that. So that's what's in the truck. And then we put a rear gear in it. And he was like, yeah, they're all the 9 inches and 9 inch. And you're like, so instantly I was bit by like, you don't need anything stock or dumb. Just make it.
Yeah. Your dad was a gearhead. So
Oh, 100%. Like my first car in high school was a 72 bug. We bought it with the front caved in and me and my dad put it back together. Drove to high school every day.
wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
I could say this is probably the last good question.
All right.
Beastie Boy E46.
Our boy from Missouri.
Favorite Volkswagen?
Carmen Gia, 100%. It's, I don't know. I
do, yo. I can
I-
really.
I'm a
love
peasant.
it.
I want a 911. I'm probably never realistically getting a 911.
I think
And
you
one,
are.
because I look at them and there's a lot of times, well, like, if you have a customer or a boy or someone who's like, yo, I'm going to get into these chassis. Is there any point you look at like the S13 and you're like, yeah, these things are 40 grand. And you're like, it's not 40 grand worth of driving experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Every day.
Every day. So like we do that. Like one of my buddies wanted the Mark 1 and they're in like the teens now for a good one. And I'm like, yo, dude.
What?
No. Yeah.
Mark 1 is in the teens?
Like a really good one you'd be very proud of. Yeah, they're expensive now. But like, so like, and he's like, yo, I want one. This is what I'm looking at. I'm like, it ain't worth that. Or like an E30 shell is like $6 grand. You're like, no. Because I'm used to shit being cheap. And then Carmen Gia, like 100%. I want a 911. I can't afford a 911. It looks like a 911 because it has the cool fenders and it's
That car
fucked
does
up
not
because
look like a
no,
911.
no, it does. Because if you're in it, you have the silhouette of the fenders.
I
Straight up.
found,
If you're in it, it's air cooled,
And
motors
yes.
in the rear, silhouette of the front fenders, front frunk. It's all 911.
Well, you told me a
Designed
Beetle
by
was a
Carmen.
911.
It was.
The guy who
It is.
designed the 911 and 356 directly designed the Beetle.
Yeah, but one doesn't really look.
100%. Pull up a 356 and pull up a Beetle.
356.
First
The
911.
first one. Yeah.
This is what made the 911. That's a
That-
a fucking Beetle.
That one right
Yeah,
there.
that is a Beetle.
Look at the wheels. Look at the
I would
wheelbase.
never
It's a
own
Beetle.
that thing.
That is a
It's
356.
fucked up because it's most people's dream car.
I would own a Beetle over that.
Now, hold on. After the numbers 356,
What do you think
type
that's
in
worth?
Speedster.
Well, that's what that is.
No, the black one.
the
But
vert.
I want more of them. I want more of them. I love the Speedster. Not the new shit. Delete 911.
The late 911. Yeah.
Not like that.
That bitch is right there.
Fire. That silver one right
So
there.
far.
The silver
All right,
one.
so that's
that
a-
one
no,
right
go,
there.
Go back up one. No, whatever one you were on first. That one all the way to the left, the bottom two. That's an Emery car. You would have no idea what that fucker's worth. That guy builds Porsches out of California, and he's got like a 6-year waiting list. And he builds a car, and you're like, I want a 356. He's like, okay, you don't pick color, you don't pick anything, you just get a car.
That's what I want.
But that's
How
cool.
much you pay for that?
Mill.
That's a lot.
Mill
But
at
the
least.
thing, yeah, the thing with that is they're flat fours. He takes a weird block and they're instead of being a 6-cylinder, he takes a 6-cylinder block and then bores it out in his machines and makes it a huge 4-liter, a 4-cylinder. It's very weird. It's throaty. It's got huge carburetors or fuel injection on it. He makes a V6, a 4-cylinder, and it's got a gangster motor in it. That's what he does. And it's
I'm
that
just
car.
looking at like that rear cowl. That's probably all metal.
I don't
all
think
that.
I like 911s until the 80s.
72, 911, signal green. 911 RSR right there.
RSR, you're an RSR guy.
Hell yeah, RSR America.
I need a
That right there.
964.
That bitch
Okay,
right- the
that
blue
looks
one.
yeah.
cool.
Blue
But that's
one?
all modified
That's
and
it.
everything.
No, that's a stock car.
That's a stock car.
And 911 RS, that's what they look like. They came without a radio. They came without crank up windows. They came with the whale tail. That's borderline a factory
that
look.
car
It was the
looks cool.
fact. If you in '72, if you wanted to go racing, you would buy a 911 RSR, and it would be like, okay, like it goes to the race shop to become a race car, like the kit car, the GT cars are now, like Porsche sells with the cage in them. That's basically what an RSR was, to my knowledge. And they came, like the cool Fuchsias with the big dishes on them and shit.
My dad had those 9s. There's 9 wides and there's 8 wides. He had a set of 9 wides, and that was the car I learned how to drive stick on.
Damn fucking wheels are expensive. Bro, it would blow your mind. You bring a trailer, you type in Fuchsias, and you're like,
Yeah, dude.
It would blow your mind.
He would drive very, very far to go get these pairs, dude. He had a lot of them in the shed at one point.
because back then people didn't know what it was worth.
Yeah, no,
Dude,
even back then it was
They
still
knew,
like a couple
but the
thousand.
Porsche bubble wasn't happening.
Not yet.
Dude,
Not yet,
everything's
not
like, I'll straight up tell you, I like Mark 1s. They're pieces of shit. They're tinny, they're garbage.
But
they're
there's
built
only
like
a
crap.
finite
There's a
amount.
finite of them. Like my buddy worked for DPW for a minute, found a Mark 1 GTI in someone's backyard, paid under $1,000,
Okay.
paid X.
Okay. No need.
Buffed it, went to Patterson, had one seat reupholstered, charged the AC, changed some belts, put some tires on it. It went to bring a trailer. It sold for almost $14,000.
All right.
The fucking designer, bro, the designer for SpaceX bought it.
Really?
Swear to God. He was telling me here. He's like, he's up there in the company. Yeah. He talked to the guy. He's like, yeah, I want to come out there. My dad, he lives in Ohio. I want to come him to look at it. And he look up the guy's name. That's what it is. But like, no Mark 1 is worth that money. I'm sorry. Volkswagen people bite me.
I saw a 240
It's crazy,
sell for
dude. It's
30 grand
insane.
once on Bring a Trailer.
What are we doing?
What are we
What the
doing?
fuck are we
Where's
doing?
too much
Kinda
It's
sounds
a
money?
like-
commuter car.
Get Donnie
Sounds
in
like
here.
240 shit.
Dude, it is. But like, yo, the valve cover on my car is cool. It's expensive. I don't want to say what I meant to it because my girl ain't gonna find out what I paid for it. But like, yo, it would fucking hurt your chest.
Yeah.
But like, you look at it, and you're like, that's cool looking. To me, it's fucking gangster. But to you, you'd be like,
But you paid for it.
oh, I paid for it. Yeah, I actually traded a bunch of welding work for it.
Okay.
And it was, but
So
it
you
was-
will pay for something,
I will pay for some stuff for sure. But like, I try to like,
but not the cars.
yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's
'Cause,
what
like,
my parents instilled in me. I'd rather spend the money on the tooling and let
Yeah.
the cars come. And the other thing too is I'm so anal with stuff. Most you've seen cars that are built. You want to? Oh, it's like, oh, it's a 2J swapped car. Yo, if like MA Motorsports or someone reputable didn't build it, you're gonna chase your tail with that fucking
Yeah.
car endlessly, and you're
Yeah.
gonna end up putting 4 times into it than you did. You're better off just buying a shell and doing the work yourself and figuring it out,
Some
because then you
people
know
have
what
no
the
idea
fuse
what
is.
the hell's going on.
Yeah, that's true. But you don't like if we're to do it, like, oh, this fuse is that wire is green because it goes there, and then that.
Yeah, they should build. They should get the stockest car they can and then give it to someone and have them build it.
I agree with you. That's how it
what-
should be. Yeah. If you're not comparable to do it, yeah. But
Because then you
it's
buy
not
someone
everyone's
else's
world.
project. It's like,
Dude, I've seen some shit through the years. I'm just like,
How
like-
did you lower the Beetle? Did you? Is that like shocks and torsion? Because
It's
a
torsion.
911 is torsion bar.
it's torsion front and back. It'd almost be better to honestly pull up a picture and I can explain it because they just like say it out loud. It's so odd to compare it to, like, it's not McPherson, it's not a coilover or a shock.
Because the way that my dad
Just Google-
lowered his shit was really
You're almost better
fucking
just
weird.
Googling like
torsion bar
66
suspension
Beetle
or something.
front beam. It'll come up. Okay, so pull up that image. It's fucked up looking.
No. I definitely understand.
Okay, so go to this photo or like this one with the little adjusters. So if you look at this, there's torsion bars in the horizontal tubes. The tubes hold the torsion bars. The torsion bars fit into those little adjustables with that set screw. That holds the torsion bar. The set screw that goes vertical is biting on the torsion bar and setting the height. Because you're gaining an eighth in the center and the wheels are so far out off the leverage point of the arms, when you take like an eighth inch there, because of leverage, the wheel goes up like a half inch. So that's your height adjustment, like a coilover, like your threaded body is that. And then the other thing you do is you buy a drop spindle. The spindle is just like a PBM drop knuckle for like the correct
that
geometry.
itself
It's
is
not
a
doing
different-
correcting
yeah.
geometry because it's all the same, but it just brings the spindle point up 2.5 inches to give you the drop.
Yo,
It's very
Malcolm, if you
involved.
hit bug narrowed beam right there, with the little circles, That'll show you like the end of like a torsion
Yeah,
bar.
see that's your
That
arms
goes into
go
the-
and the arm has a square hole. It goes over that. There's a dowel pin that goes through those rods, and then that gets adjusted, and those teeth are the height adjustment. Because you do one little click where the arms are and how far out it is, it's a lot of adjustment because it's just you're going like 2 feet out versus where it is.
I have a
It's so
bunch of
different,
those
yeah.
torsion bars at my house right now.
Just the bars.
My dad like gave me all his bins of car shit because he's like kind of just done.
Mm-hmm.
And like I picked one bin up, totally normal. Went to go pick up the other
And
bin.
it's like a billion pounds.
And I was like, ugh!
Yeah,
like,
'cause
what
it's
the
like
fuck?
it's like AR hardened
And I
steel.
fucking open it, just fucking random Porsche torsion bars.
And then the back is like it's like a I don't even know. It's like a 9-inch rear axle. It's tooth on one end, tooth on the other, but it's spring steel. So like this side is your wheel, and then when the wheel like travels, it's twisting the rod because this side is locked into the chassis. You're just playing off the twist of the rod because it's
well, kind of
it's
still
so rudimentary.
torsion type
Yeah, it's
of-
torsion bar. It's 100% torsion bar.
type
It's
of-
just the rear end is a torsion bar, but it's a little different, and that's why they get so cambered out in the back because there's no control arm. It's literally the one that goes to the wheel, and then there's just an axle that's the pivot point. So when you lower it, the axles like fold in. That's what gives you the crazy camber, and there's no way to correct it. There's no control arm. It's just a torsion bar. It's just two on each side, and they just go like this.
So crazy.
It's so simple. If you look underneath it, you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh. It's
Yeah.
so stupid. It's
I mean,
simple.
the front is
That's
crazy.
fucking nuts.
Yeah, but like you actually work on it, and it's like the easiest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of scary because the way that the control arms, dude, it's literally just it's not even the set screw doesn't go through the torsion bar. It's like a point, and then it's like countersunk, and that just touches that, and then there's a set screw that locks, and that's what keeps the control arms on the car. Like if those loosen up, the wheel just go. Let's go. Yeah, dude, it's like a common thing.
Something you
it's
got to
insane.
keep looking at.
Oh yeah, red Loctite and just drown
Yeah.
it. It's crazy.
That shit was crazy.
It's so different compared to what y'all fuck with, but it's cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And like a different era. So like I I appreciate that. I thought you were gonna say another thing again. Like, how the fuck did you know that, Carl? Yeah, I fucking
yeah,
know
you know
about
everything.
that shit, my boy. But is there anything else that you wanted to end off with? We're reaching like the 9:40 mark. I don't know if we all.
I don't know. Whatever. I'm good. You ever
Your
need any
Instagram. What's your Instagram?
It's ES Fabrications on everything.
Hit them up for your fabrication needs in that
Oh, yeah.
Jersey area. Cool shit only.
And you're close by, too.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm in Woodland Park, right near Wayne. Used to be West Patterson, but they changed the name of the town. If you need anything, let me know. I'm down to pretty much work on anything that's cool. So,
Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Dude, I loved
Yeah,
it. This
thank
was
you,
rad.
man.
This
Yeah,
was
cool.
sick. I fucking need to not. You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna open up my Facebook Marketplace and it's gonna be right there.
Yep.
It's gonna be
They're
right
cool.
there.
Facebook Marketplace knows you.
I
Actually,
love
if you go
old
on
shit,
Facebook
dude.
Marketplace right now, this exact vehicle is on Facebook Marketplace.
No,
Wait, which one? Yours?
Yeah, it says for sale. Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Why?
No, Zach.
Long
please.
story short, no, I have a good reason. So my dad's into drag racing, and he's into hot rods. I want to do a build with my dad. I always wanted a '62 Ford Falcon. I always wanted to do something with an LS. I think it'd be cool to just build something. That's my 8th one, and like, not to be that guy. I went to shows with it this year. I always wanted one dumped on its nuts that looked cool. I went to like 4 shows this year. I won a couple of awards, and now that I did it, I'm like, yo, 18-year-old me is so fucking stoked. 27-year-old me is like, can we
I'm
do something
tired.
fucking different, please? Because like, yeah, it's like I want to build something that like
did it.
me and my dad would be really into, and like maybe go do bracket racing or whatever. Fucking spend some time with my dad. I'm moving out soon, and like,
That's
family's
nice
important.
of you.
That's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, so buy that if you want it.
Yeah.
bang
yeah,
my
yeah.
line.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is. Volkswagen.
You never know where
66.
that's gonna end up. There's tons of listeners everywhere.
I'm not gonna sell it to any random dude. You got to be a good person. That
That's
thing's
true.
important.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Well,
I'll end on that.
I guess I
Yeah.
can't buy it.
Well, thank you again for thank
No,
you
it's
again
true.
for
I hate
spending our
random
spending your
people
time
buy
with
shit.
us
Of
and
course,
and,
dude.
and having a
This is
conversation. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to like the Spotify and leave a comment about what you thought, maybe what your favorite part about this was. We're hungry. Good night. Hell yeah. Good pod, good pod.
I like how like 3 minutes in we're talking about fucking. I was like, oh, this turned into
Right away.
yeah, there's a swastika.
Yeah. So there's a swastika.
I like how that shit right there is $550 for that little piece. That
make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route.